Good evening. Welcome to Livid Comics Lair, episode number 5. Tonight we are pleased to have with us the famous, world-renowned Mr. Ozzy Longoria. He's a Denver-based comic book artist and a former student of the Oscar Gonzalez Loyo School of Art. And he has contributed in comic books and anthologies by countless independent comic book companies. He has worked with Ronin Studios, Hamtramck Idea Men, Bluewater Comics, a lot of others. So I won't keep you. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Watch our intro, and we will bring you live with Ozzy Longoria.
It says end Rogerio.
Yeah.
You're muted.
Am I?
Boom, we're live, guys. Good intro. Yeah, whatever.
That was good.
To get what you, I don't even know why I'm muted. It's to get what you pay for a podcast, so that's what you get. So, right? I'm horrible with names, too, by the way. I'm sorry if I butchered all that. So just bad with names. You know, that's my jam. Hey, so welcome, Ozzy, to the show tonight. How you guys doing?
Well, I'm pretty good.
Well. We're looking fancy here. Livid. So,
yeah.
No, I can change that.
There you go.
I like that one. Yeah.
Those guys they're from the comics we are getting done. It's called Dead Ball. Hopefully it'll be ready by September, printed and all the stuff.
What's the name of the comic?
Let's hope. Dead Ball.
It's called Dead Ball.
Dead Ball. Okay.
So yeah, it's going to be exciting. Well, we can talk about that later, though. We're here for you. So
we're here for Ozzy. Let's bring it.
All right. Well, my name is Ozzy, like you said. Ozzy Longoria. I've been doing comic books for about professionally 22 years. I've been doing it a little longer, not getting money. And I studied under this Mexican legend. He just passed. He died last year. No, this year actually. His name is Oscar Gonzalez Loyo, and he was an Eisner Award winner. He was working in comic books like Simpsons and stuff like that here in the U.S. And yeah, I've been doing mostly independent comic books. I mean, this is my first try at self-publishing. Actually,
Nice.
I'm so fortunate to always keep doing work for other companies. So I never been able to do my own stuff. I self-publish my own stuff. So this is my first time.
Yeah, that's exciting. What challenges are you finding moving into self-publishing so far?
Well, time. I don't have much to do all of it. I'm a one-guy company, so it's very challenging because I don't have much time to promote, and I like you guys. Podcast to promote your stuff. I'm always drawing, and I am from one project to another, so I really don't have much time. I'm actually considering just giving these projects to another companies, so I don't have to do it.
Yeah,
so
I can't even imagine, man. Like we've been a 2-man crew with Livid, and even that's like impossiple with time.
Yeah.
Like, so I can't imagine being a 1-man. So
I don't have a life either.
Yeah, I do hire people like writers, colorists, sometimes letterers, but still, I mean, it's not their project, so they cannot jump in to help me. I mean, it's their project, but it's not their own project. Like, it's my project.
Right.
So I have
They're there to do the one thing, and then the rest is still on you, basically. So
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So it's really hard. It's really hard. We'll see how it goes.
At least nobody argues with you, so that's good. So,
Good. And that's one of those things that everybody tells me how to do the comics. It's like, no, 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 no. I'm doing it my way because that's how I
Yeah.
want it. It's I'm paying for it. I'm spending all this time. That's how I want it. Exactly. So it's my
Yeah.
vision.
You're the editor now, so you're the boss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you won't fire yourself, so that's good. All right.
Well, sometimes I do.
Yeah, yeah, true. All right, take a night off. All right, you're out of here. Yeah. Unpaid, of course. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how you got into wanting to draw comics. Early on, what was your motivation? What did you read in the youth, or the present, past, past, present, future kind of deal? So let's talk a little bit about
Well,
that.
my dad owns a barbershop. So since I was a kid, I always had magazines, comic books, um, newspapers, and Dad always had those funnies, the comic book strips, and obviously all the stories about. And this is in Mexico City, actually, by the way. This is I grew up there. Half of my life I lived in Mexico. The other half here in Colorado and California too.
Oh, nice.
So
Good areas.
yeah.
Yeah.
So being in that environment kind of feed my imagination, and I started just drawing since I was a kid, like all the time. I always had a pen in my hand, always at all times, and so I knew how to draw. So what happened is that I watched on TV. There was at that time the biggest convention in the world, Mexico City. It was going to be the one. My mentor was looking to review portfolios. So I went there and I showed him my stuff, and he saw potential in me. So I basically actually he told me like, hey, I can teach you how to do comic books professionally, and I said yes.
That's awesome.
And so I started going with him in his school, in his house, basically every weekend, for almost 2 years. And he's the one who invited me to go to San Diego Comic Con in '99. So
Nice.
that's when I did the jump to do to look for jobs, basically. And no one wants to take an unknown guy who barely knows the how to do comic books. So I start giving them my portfolio and saying, okay, I'll do it for free. And that's how I started, like doing my comic books for free. Once I had the actual physical copies, I used to just mail them to a lot of companies. And actually, I bought so many. I just keep sending them every week, and I start getting jobs. And
Oh, that's
that's how,
awesome. Yeah.
and just having two, I sent two, and then three, and then four, and more jobs coming to me. So that's how I started. A lot of people
What an awesome resource for Oscar to have that available, to be willing to take you on and mentor you. That's something that not everybody gets that opportunity. So that's a fantastic.
He actually, Humberto Ramos, right? He's the one who brought him here.
Yeah.
He's the same in the same school. There's so many people that they have come from that school to here. He brought them, he teach them, he helped them. He was a really good person.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's so nice to have that resource.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Yep. So from there, you started to get some different jobs coming in. Was it like a ton of stuff all at once, or was it just kind of one in, was it overwhelming, I guess, or was it something that kind of staggered through?
It can be overwhelming because first off, you're new, you don't know what you're doing, basically.
Yeah, right.
And but once you get many projects at once, you develop a technique that you become fast. I used to have a bunch of friends that we used to do comic books, and I was the fastest. Like everybody was like amazed at how fast I was. I don't know if you guys done the 24-hour comic book challenge.
No, I haven't. No. Yeah.
Well, it's
other
basically
than the normal 24-hour deadline, like let's get this thing done, that kind of thing. Right?
Can't even do a page on that time.
It's basically doing one comic book, a full 24 pages in one day.
Oh god,
it's craziness.
Wow. Sounds like Jack Kirby to me.
Yeah, exactly. And this is very very famous around the world. This thing, the 24-hour comic book challenge. I think is by Scott McCloud started it, and who's the writer of the Sandman?
Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman too. Yeah. So they promote that. So basically, I was so fast that I would just finish 24 pages, and I used to do just like 28 and 3 covers in one day. So I was so fast.
That's wild. I can't even imagine. That'd be fun to try.
Developing a style.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I remember like when Joel and I, like when we started talking about just doing like art, you were like, challenge yourself, try to draw, because I would take like 4 or 5 hours to do like a drawing, and he's like, try to do it in a half hour, just see how quick you can do it, And when I did it, I was just like, yeah. Yeah. So
and sometimes it's just the deadlines.
Yeah.
You have to beat them all the time.
Yeah. Oh, it's got the weather warning.
Yeah,
got some weather coming through.
We might lose Ozzy.
Yeah. We'll send the ranger to get you. So he's got some weather coming through. So if we lose him, that's what's going on.
Yeah. Remind you of stolen tongues.
I was saying that before we came on the show. Yeah, it was funny. Yeah. What do you think, Ozzy's been the biggest change that you've seen since that period of time when you first started doing your books to now, in terms of, I guess your approach to art or getting it out, or just, the industry in general? What's something that stands out to you that's fundamentally different?
Well, I think the quality. The quality shifts by decades, I guess. Like when I started it, there was a huge quality in comic books, either in writing and in art, even lettering, because they used to be done by hand, and everything, basically coloring. It was a huge task to do everything, because there was so much quality. Nowadays, it's just like a factory. It's more like just pass it or whatever. Doesn't matter how it is. Just finish it. That's the main thing that I see that has changed a lot. And you see it in comic books. Why that they don't sell? Why everybody complains about the comic books nowadays? It's just the quality.
We talked about that when we were like reading even some of the bigger names, right? Like you see like in the background, you'll see like characters with no faces, and like it just seems like you said, just they got to hit this deadline. They're just flying through it. So no
backgrounds, right? No, nothing. Right? Just no detail. Even the story, though, like to your point, the story even lacks. It's like, okay, we've done that before.
Speaking of that, I saw earlier on a post on this related comic communities, and there was a guy who was kind of boasting that he could do as, I don't know, whatever number of pages daily, and he uses CGI to help him do it. I don't know, but I think that is just terrible, because it doesn't seem like art. How can you do something that looks like action doing CGI? And it's not a very refined type of CGI. It's the kind of stiff, basic, and reminds me of the 90s video games, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and I don't think people buy that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if people buy that. If they buy that, I don't know. Quality-wise, what are they expecting? You know, I'm really confused. I didn't even know that existed.
It's like a gimmick. That's why people buy it. But after that, it's just like, well, the gimmick just wears out. It's just,
yeah, 3D models, and photocopying real pictures, and that's not really what you look for when you buy comics.
So what are they doing? Are they like are they actually like taking photographs and just like making them look like 3D animation or something?
No, they get a software that can emulate positions, expressions, and environments. And I don't know how it's made, but I think they can just adjust the scenes and then draw onto it.
over.
You know what I mean?
Huh. Yeah.
They use a layer over it, and then they do it.
Yeah.
That's
basically tracing.
This is cheating. And in my opinion, I don't know.
Yeah, I have an itch to do a full book in photography, though, just because I want to use the photography art, right? But it may not just be me with my cell phone. It might be me with like an analog camera, setting up film and doing the developing and effects on the film and all kinds of cool stuff.
No, but
just to flex that muscle. I don't think it would be something I would do long term. Might be a one shot kind of deal, but just something to try.
It will be like storytelling, but an exercise in storytelling. But what he's saying is just tracing over the pictures of the photos, and that's a little. It lacks that the soul. It doesn't have soul.
You're not gonna have your own style if you're just doing that. You know. You're just,
I'm just surprised that there's a market for it. Like I wouldn't buy it, but apparently there are some people who do.
Yeah, but there's famous Greg Land who copies the pictures, the photographs from magazines. Oh,
man, that's a bad storm.
Yeah, bad answer to that.
If you need to take cover, Ozzy,
we'll saying get into your shelter.
You see some water coming.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, keep going.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking of a guy who's very good at getting references, and he used to take photographs of himself to see how the light behaves, and then he draws. Like he looks at the photograph and do the drawing. That's different. His name is that's Mike Deodato. He's very good at doing this, and
one of my heroes.
And he's honest. He lets us know how he does it and how he can get the kind of realistic feeling to it. But like it's not the same as just drawing over. And I say, wow, that's really good. That kind of a bulb just flashed in my head, and then I started to do something similar. It's like you want to do the folds, for example, and it's very hard to imagine that. So if you get photograph references, that's the way you do it. And as long as it doesn't seem like you are copying over, it's valid. It's valid, and you're not cheating. But with CGI stuff, I'm not sure. I don't think it's sure, because like when I'm at my best, I can do 1.5 pages a day, in a free day. But those guys, they can do 7, 8, 9 pages using that technique. That makes me maybe I'm just jealous. I can't because.
Well, I don't know. We actually, the next project we were going to work on or ask you about was a CGI comic. So I guess you're out.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think so.
Foot, meat, bullet, boom, shot.
I should have kept my mouth shut.
I use tons of references. I'm doing a samurai book right now, and I never been to Japan. Obviously, I need
Sure.
that. Not only that, it's from 300 years ago. So half is the reference that I have, or there is on the internet, and the other half is my imagination. So
Yeah, and some guys are really into that too, right? They'll smell bullshit if they don't have the samurai in the right pose. Like it has to be exactly right because they're like, no, dude, no samurai ever held a sword like that. Like, right? Some guys are super into that, and it's got to translate.
And my wife takes pictures of me holding like a
Oh yeah, we do that. Yeah. You got to get her to. You got to get her to pose, right? That's the next. That's what my wife does. She'll pose up stuff, and I just can't get this angle. She's like, give me the let me set this up. So she'll help.
Well, there's probably pictures of Ozzy holding the sword up over his wife, and hopefully the authorities don't get those pictures someday.
Yeah, this is the weirdest cell phone ever. What the hell's going on?
People get bored.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Hey, so I wanted to ask you, Joel, because you mentioned something about how if we play direct from YouTube, that it could get pulled down from our channel or something, from Facebook maybe.
Yeah, strange. Well, it's only for it might get pulled off YouTube if we're sharing YouTube.
Well,
which
the
is
reason
strange.
I ask,
I can send you the link for that video.
Well, no. So you got your trailer for. I was going to ask if it was cool if we played the trailer to the movie first, so people could be refreshed. But this is from YouTube. That's why I was asking.
If we do it in here, I think it's fine. It's just if it were like a full screen, right? So if it's in a screen within a screen, I think it's totally fine. So that should be okay. But
I watched this trailer earlier when I was checking out Ozzy's page, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go back and watch this movie. I forgot all about this movie, so it's so cool. But yeah, you cool if you want to play that now, and then we can talk about
roll the
comics.
dice. Let's rip it.
my thought was, a lot of people saw this when they were kids, and it's a cult classic. But maybe they forget the storyline, so it can kind of help, the sequel. So, I'll go ahead and play it. I did share the audio first try. So
nice. No fine tonight.
All right, here we go.
Listen now of a time long past, when sorcery thrived, and wild adventure was forever in the offing. A deadly sorcerer is called out of nightmare by a ruthless king driven into evil. And a mystical sword is forged for a mighty warrior who rises out of legend to topple a kingdom. The Sword and the Sorcerer.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you ever get that, Rosario? Do you remember that movie?
I don't. No.
Yeah, I love the that old style of trailer too.
Oh yeah, the narration is really good.
Yes, exactly. The voiceover. They don't do that anymore.
No. And there's a sequel actually of this movie. There's two.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I never saw those. That's cool.
3 hours time.
It wouldn't let me pull it full screen, by the way. I wanted to pull it up, but
Okay.
Civilized world.
that's the money scene right there.
Yeah.
That is. That's the ending of the movie.
Some pretty good effects for an early 80s movie.
No CGI, right?
Right.
It's a low budget too.
Yeah.
Right?
Dungeons and dragons, serpents and splendor, wizards and witches, danger and desire.
Sounds like a fun Friday night.
I have to go back and watch this movie now. It's gonna happen. I gotta find it.
It is on YouTube for free.
It's on YouTube? Oh,
Yep.
okay.
The Sword and the sorcerer.
Perfect. What more could you want, right?
Yeah, I'm sold.
Wizards, women, and war. That's a holy trinity.
That's a recipe for success.
That's right.
I'll play this one in a bit if you want. I won't play them back to back if you want to talk about it first. But yeah, I just wanted to show that before we kind of got into the sequel comic here. So
Sure. Yeah, set this up, Ozzy, a little bit. So what got you inspired to do this book? And tell us a little bit more about what's going on with the sequel here.
All right. Well, I wasn't involved in the beginning. My partner, Jeremy, he came up with the. Well, okay, let's go back. He was doing an anthology with of another movie. Actually, it's called Mean Streets, which is from the same director, Albert Puin. And so he asked for those rights of this movie, and then he invited me to do it. But he wanted me. I just wanted to edit the whole book. I didn't want to be involved in anything else. So he was also editing the book. So I passed. I said no. I don't want anything to do with this. But then he told me, like, well, why don't you edit the book and do the drawings? So okay, well, let's do it.
You were voluntold to do it, right?
Well, he don't offer me good money, so.
So was it as simple as that, as far as him getting the rights, though? Like he just legit just asked the guy, "Hey, can I do a comic on this?"
Sometimes it's just that easy.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, right.
But no, okay. I think he met him beforehand. He lives in China now.
Okay.
But I think he met him in a convention or something like that. I don't know how it happened. But Albert Puin is sick now. He's got Alzheimer's.
Ugh.
So
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, that's rough. And so he was dealing with his wife about the rights, and then he got him. Basically, he got both the Mean Guns and this one. So I really wanted to do this. I love the Conan, and I love this genre.
Right.
And I'm a big Conan fan too.
Yeah.
Love it.
So basically, this is my dream project, basically. And not only that, we added one more thing. It's just that we needed a cover artist that can, because all these movies have the iconic poster.
Right.
Yep.
So again, it's just like as simple as asking, hey, do you want to do a cover for this project? And he said yes. Simon Beasley.
Yeah,
he's a superstar.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So
how many pages do you have on your book?
How many what?
Pages.
We're gonna do 20, but we can add more depending on how it goes. We can add extras. We can add. We're planning for 22.
Yeah.
But it can be a little more.
Is it a one shot, or is this gonna be like a series?
It's gonna be a series. This one is a one shot. This is like the prelude.
Okay.
It's just the origins of how this starts just 1 week after the movie.
Okay, that's awesome.
And it's just how the evil resurrects and come back to haunt everybody. So it's a really good story, actually. I was a little surprised.
Yeah, I have the 80s comic for this, and I tried to find it in my long box before we came on the show, but it is somewhere in my collection. I remember that, so super cool. So I wonder how well they would, if you read yours and that one, how well that timeline would work. See how that would be pretty neat if they timed up.
I don't know. I make the joke on all these shows that you keep getting impressed by the guest, like I'm definitely gonna back this one too. And it's like, oh man, I'm gonna go broke. But like I want to watch the movie and then get this. I think it'll be kind of fun. So
Right.
but I mean, yeah, like you said, this has comic written all over it, right? The whole idea of this story, like, it's such a good comic idea. So
yeah, definitely. No, it's very fantastic. It's got all the the imagery that you can translate into drawings and be very fantastic, in your face. It's pretty good.
yeah,
And I'm doing my best, actually, trying to do my best to do a good job, because it's something important for a lot of people.
yeah. When you're dealing with a cult classic, it's you got to get it right, right? Because those diehards are going to be the toughest critics. So,
Oh yeah, for sure.
but I mean, this art looks awesome. So,
Yeah, that coloring here is slick. That's awesome.
Very, very good. Very good.
Oh, did you do everything too? Like the art, the ink, color too, all of it, or?
Yeah, we were gonna get a colorist, but I didn't like it. And again, I'm that kind of guy who you have to do it this way. I had a vision, so I started doing myself the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I'm probably gonna end up lettering it too.
Yeah.
yeah, that's Joel at Livid here for the, most probably we're working with Ruggiero and Deadball, but for Yule, I wrote and Joel did everything else. So it's
It's a really good, by the way, really good comic.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Art, and yeah, it's pretty good.
I love this. Like, it's almost like a monochromatic color scheme, but it's not really at the depth of it. I love that sepia tone kind of look to things, and actually I wanted to kind of use some of that in Deadball because it takes place 100 years ago. So kind of wanted that older look to things too.
What I was thinking is that I want to use like a different color, one monotone color per scene. Scene. Let's say this one happens in a cave, so everything is green, and the ones that happen outside is basically blue, the whole thing. And when there's a battle, it goes red. So it's
nice. Yeah, I love that stuff.
Colors.
Yep. I pick up on that stuff. The average reader or the new reader may not know the subtleties of the art like that, but I totally pick up on that. I'm like, that's rad as hell. So I pick up on all that stuff.
I never used to until we started working on comics, and then obviously talking to you about the color aspects of stuff. I was joking when I went back and read the Immortal Hulk. I just was like noticing all the line work, and like you just notice so much more when you're like actually doing it. So
I used to say that the drawing is the film, and the colors are the soundtrack of the film. So you have to choose it well, otherwise it's going to mess up with your movie.
And that's exactly why I'm doing it myself, because I don't want
you don't want any other musician doing it. Yeah,
right.
It's very good. Like I'm impressed with your art. Very, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I ran into that same problem in the band. It was me and 4 other guys. We eventually got to the point where it was just me and one other guy kind of were clicking. So like, well, let's just get rid of everybody. We'll just do it ourselves, right? It was easier. I don't know. More people doesn't necessarily mean better product, right? So that's true.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool panel. Look at that arrow.
Yeah, I just noticed that. That's sharp.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've been doing that, trying to add different panels, different irregular panels. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's super cool. And it's in an action scene, so that makes sense too to break it out that way. So right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going to play the video here, and then we'll run through the
Yeah.
campaign, and we'll see what we got going on here. We'll unwrap this thing together before we get too far into it. Let's play this video. We can probably expand this one up, hopefully.
yeah. This will let us. This is the YouTube one wouldn't. So I'll go ahead and hit play now.
These guys are so weird.
There we go.
Creamy
That's
Rat
awesome.
Studio.
No name.
What? How did you come about to that?
It's not mine. It's not my studio.
No, he's Gemini, so
All right, yeah, I thought it was a branch of the Gemini Studios.
No, we're just doing it together. So
Yeah, Creamy Rat is not right.
So it is a Drew. The original poster, I had to look it up. I'm like, that's a Drew Struzan poster, and it is a
Is it
Drew
really?
Struzan poster.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
it
awesome.
is.
That's
Yes,
cool.
it is. I was like, yes. The original poster for the movie in '82 was Drew Struzan did that. So I was like,
really?
that has to be. Yeah, I'm like, that has to be him, and it was. So spot on. Yeah,
wow.
yeah, yeah. That's awesome. You couldn't do a film back then without him doing your poster. It was like you were just not
Probably,
going to do it. So,
It needs
Yeah.
some
yeah. So run us through the campaign here, Ozzy. You got the ship here. John will drive, and then you can
We'll
So
get down
we're
to the-
having so many perks from 3
go
different
to the
colors.
perks, John.
Oh, they're on the
Good
right.
talk.
I'm sorry, I'm not used to Indiegogo because we did Kickstarter. They're on the right as we go. Sorry.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
Get up
here
on
we
the
go
top
back.
there, buddy.
There we go.
So
There we go.
All right.
the first one obviously is the PDF. You can buy it for cheap. No, not like other like $6 PDFs. No, this is good price.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is, yeah.
Actually, we all the rewards or perks that we have here they're so they're priced a little lower than any other because we want them to get something that is quality and a good price too. So we have my cover, which is not yet finished. That's gonna be for $5. We have the Simon Beasley, which is the main cover. And that's going to be painted. Obviously, we don't have it yet, but we have the main sketch, and we have the sketch cover, which is the one you see here. Actually, he did it twice. He tweaked a bunch of stuff, and I didn't know he was that professional, just to do it again, just for one little sketch. But
So wait, he redrew it all over again with just a couple
Yeah.
different tweaks? That's crazy.
Yeah. That's insane. Like with that level of detail and just for one thing, you can tell how professional he is. So we have the print, also the poster or print with the books, all 3 covers. We have the T-shirt, which is going to be there's going to be 2 actually, the sword and the actual cover.
Before we go to the shirt, that you're getting 3 covers for $20. That's wild. That's a crazy price.
That's a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal, yeah.
That's probably the one I'll do. That's crazy. Well, we'll see, right?
So we're gonna like I said, we're gonna
Keep
get
going, John. It's better, right?
2 different kinds of T-shirts too. This one is we haven't put the other one because some technical issues that we had, and we're gonna put it up soon, probably tomorrow. It's gonna be the cover basically on your T-shirt.
Nice.
The early bird, it's the signatures and what else? It's got the PDF, and
Can I click
I
on
think
it?
I do a drawing inside of the comic book
Oh wow.
on that one. It's also very cheap.
Yeah.
We have commissions by me. We have if you want to be on the comic book, like your face, that's for $60.
Wow.
We'll draw you in.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it's a smoking deal.
Yeah, that's jeez, man.
You
Yeah,
guys are
maybe.
1982 prices on your books. Right? Yeah, bringing it back, right? That's it.
Yes.
That's wild.
Blank covers. I got a bunch of them. I got 80 of them, 80 or 90, something like that. There's a list on the bottom, and you can pick any one you want or any character you want. And also that's pretty cheap too.
Yeah.
Like I said, all of them, they're very affordable. And this package, this pack, it's signed by the director. The cards, we have cards already signed.
Wow.
By the director who. This is for. There's three different kinds, I think. One is for Mingons, and the other one is for the sword and the sorcerer. Sorry. So yeah, that's that, and we're selling also original pages.
Again, an incredible deal, right?
That is such a good deal. That's so wild. I mean, you're not going to find better prices than this on any campaign. I mean,
no, that's why I'm marketing this. Like, this is the most affordable in any crowdfunding place.
Yeah, that's insane. Yep.
Yeah.
And this is the mega pack. We have sketches from the Man, from Simon Beasley, and the signatures of the director, and a bunch of stuff together. Like, I think it's a T-shirt too on that one, and for $200. So it's a really good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna keep one of those Simon Beasley sketches.
Yeah, exactly.
You earned it.
I think I have, I have the heavy metal stuff like upstairs in my collection. That's about the only thing I got from him right now. So, but that's a heck of a good deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So anyone watching this now or on the replays, I mean, even like even our own campaigns, I mean, these deals just crush anything that I've ever seen on a campaign. Like, this is wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really cool.
And it's kind of like an introductory price. Like, I don't have any followers like on any of the campaigns, on any of the crowdfunding or Indiegogo or Kickstarter, because I only done one book, and I never promoted it.
Yeah.
And I sold them. I mean, it was successful. But we're trying to collect a lot of make a community, like you guys are doing too. So giving them good prices, good incentives, good. If we get to that 1,500, we're gonna give them even more stuff.
Wow.
Is that possible? Right? I mean, geez,
Yeah, right.
a heck of a value, man. That's awesome.
No. Even if we're not making money, that's what I'm saying. Is like we're just trying to please our audience,
Yeah, that's great. That's what it is, That's it. So people can get in and enjoy the book, right? So, yep. And
we'll make the money on number 2.
Yeah, right. There you go.
There you go. Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, get them on the hook.
I mean, there's 31 days left. You're at just shy of 20%. So, I mean, I can't see any reason why this wouldn't hit. I mean,
yeah, no, I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
A lot of people wait until the end too.
Yeah, we noticed that too. Ours just wrapped on Wednesday, and Wednesday was a little slow because we made the mistake of having it end in the morning. So next time we're going to do evening, so we can do something like this live. Maybe do a countdown or something too. It'd be kind of fun. But yeah, we were new. We didn't know. We're just like, we'll throw it up in the morning. We were so excited to get it out, right?
Yeah,
like,
we were.
Yeah, but yeah, we were excited to push it out there. So,
but at the end of the day, I guess it's a double-edged sword, or well, maybe a triple-edged sword. If that'll tie into this book.
Say.
But we hit goal in the first 6 hours because it was prime time, middle of the day. So I guess it worked out on the front end, but on the back end, it was the day before that we got a huge amount of purchases, and then the last day I don't think we got any, maybe one. So, but yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and I think you just did the DTV campaign too, right?
That's right. Yeah, and
they were so I backed that.
You did?
Yep.
Yeah, we both did. Yeah, we both did. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Yeah, that's good stuff. I like that. I was like, I'm getting that. We did that too.
Already on the printers. Actually, I haven't even updated. I'm so busy. Yeah. I'm gonna send an update, and we're just waiting for the books, and we're gonna send them pretty soon.
That's cool. That's kind of how we want to roll. It's like you just barely ended that campaign. Like I remember when I did it, it wasn't even that long
Yeah.
ago. And now you're cranking on this one. Like that's what we want. We want, so Yule 1 just ended. Now we're pushing Deadball and Yule 2 like at the same time. So it's just keep on going.
This campaign is going to take a little longer because basically I'm doing everything and it's going to take a few months until I finish the book. But for my own projects, I like to have the book ready, like finished, or at least the art and colors. That's it. No less than that. And then I just start doing the campaigns and promotion, whatever. And but I just don't like for people to wait that long.
Yeah. No, we when we went on Kickstarter, we made sure we were done the book really at that point. And where we made people wait was on the front end of Kickstarter when we were taking some collector's edition orders before we were like even a quarter of the book done. So so those people are going to be happy because we're finally we got books in hand now, but
right.
I agree, with the campaigns, if you can have the book basically ready to go to print when the campaign ends, like as soon as you see that campaign ending, you're hitting send basically, as close as possible. I understand it's not always that easy, but
no, it's not.
No.
No.
But yeah,
sometimes you need the money to produce it.
well, exactly. Yeah. And I don't know how Indiegogo is, but Kickstarter, we just found out it's like 2 weeks before you get funded. So is Indiegogo the same? Do you know?
Yeah. Almost the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I wanted to ask. I asked this offline, or actually, Ruggiero asked me earlier when I said it was cool that you guys got the rights to the movie to do the sequel. Ruggiero asked me, what would you want to get the rights to make a sequel, and I had no idea, but I thought about it after you asked that, Ruggiero, and I was thinking it would be super cool to get the Goonies, just go in there and come up with a sequel there. That was like, I love that movie when I was a kid.
They'll probably do like a relaunch, right? Because that's what everybody does. They'll probably get like their kids or their grandkids or something, right? Like it seems like everybody does that now as the movie.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, they got the Ghostbusters sequel coming out. That's the grandkids of the original cast, So, and Goonies, that would never happen because Goonies is just way too that's such a mainstream classic. You have to find these cult classics like this that.
And he's owned by a big company too, so I don't think they will.
Oh yeah, that'd be massive.
Yeah,
I love the old 50s horror sci-fi films that are like they're terrible, right? The things that Mystery Science Theater 3000 riffed on. I was like, I wonder how much it would be to actually buy the rights to that and take a crap movie and make it actually pretty good and just redo it, right? They always remake good movies. They don't remake shit movies. Like, it's like, why don't you redo this and make it cooler?
Something that might have a good idea, but they just didn't execute, right?
Yeah, it's just terrible.
Yeah. I don't know, guys, if you have ever seen a film it's from the 50s. It's called The Incredible Shrinking Man.
Yes.
I heard of it.
Yep, I have.
I guarantee you, Joel has.
I think that's one of the most wonderful films of all time.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's the story of a man. All of a sudden, he was hit by a kind of radiation, and then he starts to shrink.
Everybody was back then. That was like what you did. You got hit by radiation.
Exactly. but he was getting smaller and smaller. At the end, he was so small. He was, smaller than an atom. And then he kind of he was unified with all the things. It's like being on psilocybin, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah, I do. And
I want to, Ruggiero, would you like to draw Attack of the Killer Shrews? Right, if we got the rights for that, something like that, or the creeping eye, you could do.
I wouldn't mind.
These are the ones I'm talking about, right? Like Attack of the 50-foot woman, right? So all of that stuff, right? But it'd be killer, it'd be awesome, right? Love that stuff.
I like weird stuff.
Aren't those movies going into public domain pretty soon? You can just wait 10 more years and that's it.
Well, there you go. I think our future's written, John. So let's do it, right? I can't imagine like it would if you went. Who owns the Attack of the Killer Shrew, right? If you went to those people and you're like, "Here's $500, give me the rights to this thing," they'd probably be like, "Oh, like, do I still own that? Oh, yeah, I guess I do. Okay,
Yeah.
like, and just throw it at you. Probably happy that you even care, at this point." So.
I think this is definitely something that we can, like aim for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I can watch like I can see the good in every story for the most part. Like I feel like, I mean, I'm obviously new to all this, so I could just be thinking that it's possible. But like I feel like you could take anything and really take the good out of it and turn it into something better.
Yeah. I'd say some of those creators would be honored, to give it for free because most of them are forgotten. People don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
I
And then
don't know if it's free, but
if you get something, if you get something that's really good and you can pay a very nice homage to it.
even
So
in the
we can
back
make-
end, you can just give them like a percentage.
It could be a kind of two-way favor. Of course, we have to pay them for that.
Yeah.
If make some profit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing that. And some of those old films, they are very good, and they can be seen from a different perspective.
Another thing too,
From
like
the
if
point of view,
the comic blows up, then it's like, hey, this thing's back into relevance. Maybe they'll end up doing something else, like a remake or a sequel or something like that.
That is my pitch. Actually, I'm talking to a company in Spain. I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want someone to steal my idea. But it's
They're only nice people in our audience.
it's well, not you guys, but I'm saying someone is listening. So this company in Spain did a nice. I don't even want to say that. Well, it's a nice movie, but it's translatable to a comic because it's so visually attractive. So I'm trying to get those rights, and I that was my pitch, just exactly what John said. It's just like, hey, if something comes up from here, it's your IP, and you can make money out of it, and I can make some money too, like by bringing it to a different country that likes to make movies about comic books. So it's a win-win.
There's so many movies that would translate well. I mean, you think about even things that are popular, like I'm reading Marvel's Alien series right now, right? So that's a huge film. It translates pretty well to a book. There's no reason why that a lot of these, and that was kind of common like back in the 80s, like that with Sword and the Sorcerer. It was like, we're going to have a comic too, right? And then it seems like for whatever reason, over the last, 20 years or so, they don't really seem to do that as much. It was like, okay, here's the movie, here's the comic, right? They just skip that altogether now. Maybe that's something they need to start going back to, and then they could leverage indie guys to come up and do that. Like, hey, do you want to draw Terminator 6? Yeah, I'll do Terminator 6. Like, let's just do it, right? So wherever it goes, right? So yeah, man, that'd be awesome because that's stuff we grew up with too, and we love that stuff. So bring it on, right?
But guys, the problem with the book industry is that people are reading less and lesser every day, so they rather keep on listening to a podcast or a TV program or a YouTube channel than reading a book. Reading a book is something that's really revolutionary at the time we are now, because people are not reading. Like if you get people to read comics, I think that's a big deal. Imagine, transforming something into books. There are fewer people reading. And and here in Brazil, it's even worse. People don't read at all. It's terrible. Like the other day, there were some kids, like friends with my daughter, and they looked at my wardrobe that was full of books, and some of them like, "What is that?"
What are those things?
Yeah.
That's a weird shirt.
Yeah, okay, get it out of here. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Of course, it's exaggeration, but it's nearly like this. In fact,
That is the reason why I moved to the U.S. because in Mexico there's no market for comic books.
I was going to ask you about that. What's the main difference in dichotomy that you see between Mexico City, Mexico, and the U.S. with the comic scene?
In Mexico, if you sell through a company who does comic book, you have to sell your soul. Basically, you make little money and you do the whole work. And obviously, you can't keep the rights. That's another thing.
Wow. Yeah. Right.
They make you want to get out of the country.
Exactly.
Basically. Yeah.
And basically, that's what we did. Actually, we all my friends from there from the school, we come here and look for jobs, and basically just trying to work in the market, basically the U.S. market, and we accomplished it. Obviously, most of us were trained by a professional, so.
But Mexican, they do buy American comics, yeah.
Yeah, they rather buy a comic book with a known character.
Yeah.
Like from the big two.
Yeah. Well, they sell a lot. Yeah, they sell all the big two. They sell a lot of comic books over there.
Yeah.
Even Image.
The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence.
Even here though, like so I know Joel's the same way. We don't really buy much from the big two anymore. It's unless it's like DC Black Label's like really cool. They have a lot of like horror themed comics, but I don't know. I'm not buying superhero stuff really that much anymore. So
I think a lot of people are.
Yeah.
This year I stopped buying because the quality is just not there.
Yeah.
There's so many crossovers too, right? And sub stories and side plots, and you have to be reading like 6, 7, 8 books just to understand what the hell's going on. I don't have that much time.
I did buy this though. I went to the comic shop and because
this is nice.
It's so good. Yeah, the cover's awesome. Like I didn't even know Moon Knight until Joel showed me his painting. Like I never even knew that character until you showed me that.
One of the best.
So like, I was reading his
Marvel's
backstory.
Batman.
Yeah, I was reading his backstory. I'm like, this guy's awesome. And then, like,
I know how much you like Batman, so
I love Batman. That's so obviously, like, as soon as I read this, I'm like, what? Like, how did I not know about this guy? Like, so, and he did the author McKay. I actually tweeted at him, and he responded. But I was like, the way that in this book, issue 1, that he basically, the whole backstory without it being an origin book, right? So it's like stuff's explained through the issue as its current time, so like they don't even have to go back in time to like have this whole history of the character. It's just mentioned through dialogue, so I just thought it was really cool because it's basically just you're taken right off with the character. You don't have to go back to the very beginning. So but it's getting a ton of hype too, this book.
This rumor of a film.
There's not a rumor. It's
it's a show, right? Is it a Disney Plus show or is it going to be a movie?
It's a movie.
It's a movie. Oh, that's awesome. The guy that's in Dune.
Oscar Isaac is going to play him.
Yes, yeah, he's going to play him. Yeah, that's cool. So he's going to blow up. Your painting's probably going to go for some good money, so it's a good choice.
So there's a little story behind the painting. I wanted to see if I could do sequential or comic art in oil paint. Because I did fine art for the past 10 years. Went from comics to fine art back to comics, and I did that. And I said, I'll just do Moon Knight, just pick somebody random, and I did it. So yeah, I have it on my wall. So
and then here we are now, right? Like you did that before anything was ever even talked about with this.
I think it was just a natural progression of saying farewell to fine art for a while and going into comics. That piece for me was kind of a transitionary. Mentally too, to do that, to say, okay, we're shifting. So if they ever look at a museum some year and go, okay, he does landscapes, portraits, what the hell is Moon Knight doing here? Yeah. Right? The story would be like, okay, that's when he moved back into comics, was that piece. It was like the bridge. So it worked out pretty well for that. So
yeah. So I just sat here saying I don't buy superhero comics, and then the first thing I show you is a superhero comic. But
liar! It's Livid Comics, liar.
Yeah. Anything I bought over the last year, besides this past week when I bought that and a few of the Immortal Hulks to try to get that full collection, like it's all been like the Joe Hill stuff, or like so
This is
you
why
actually
we are about to talk to him, so you need to read it.
exactly. Well, yeah. So I don't know if Ozzy saw that. So Joe Bennett is coming on our show.
Really?
Yeah, he was going to come on last week, and then we rescheduled for the first week of August. But so, and I already had the first handful of issues of Immortal Hulk, and it just didn't even, click initially. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go back and read that. So,
That's a good storyline, yeah.
but when I read it before, we weren't doing comics, so I didn't appreciate the art as much. It just looked cool to me. But now, like seeing what Rogerio and Joel do with their art, it just makes me appreciate seeing it all. And Joe, would show us his pencil stuff too, and it's just like you just see all the work that goes into it. But yeah, so definitely
He showed us something that is not published yet. Like people didn't see it yet.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
we're not sharing that.
Really
That was
great.
that was a geek out moment for sure.
Allegedly, he showed us some stuff. Allegedly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's no
Can't tell
confirmation.
anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What's some things that you're reading currently, Ozzy, that you enjoy? Like, what's some titles that are out there that you like?
Well, I'm reading some independent stuff like Maddie. I haven't finished this one. This is the current. It was
I saw that.
Oh,
Yeah, I
was
saw that.
Not only these guys are so good. There's actually many artists that I like.
How many pages is that? It looks
That
huge.
looks huge.
It's like a phone
Yeah.
book. It's like a phone book.
It's a omnibus.
I think it's 100 and some 109.
Jeez.
Even still, that's quality. That's a weapon. Look at the size of that thing.
It was really good, and I recommend it a lot because it's really good stuff. And Duncan Jones, Alex DeCampi. Now I'm promoting them.
Is that one story, or is that like an anthology?
No, it's an anthology actually.
Okay.
There's a feeling of Moebius in there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very European actually. Looking. It's got a Simon Beasley also, the guy. From,
Oh wow.
He's doing my cover.
I like the colors there.
It's got a lot of good artists from Europe and from South America too. So it's really good. I haven't finished it yet, but it's really good so far. And I'm buying stuff like that on Kickstarter and Indiegogo only, because like I said, I got tired of the big two.
Yeah.
There's a handful that are good books, but
the thing with the campaigns, like that's kind of how I want to go, is mostly reading independent stuff. But I've backed 17, I think, since we got into comics, and I was researching Kickstarter, and I've only received 2 of them so far. So it's tough to.
They're all going to come in one day, and your wife's going to think you're insane.
I already warned her. She could, because when something comes in the mail, she's like, "Did you seriously order another book? Like, you can't even keep up." And I'm like, "I ordered a bunch like months ago to like support people, and they haven't come yet." So
tell her they're a store of value. It's a store of value, hon. We're gonna, when I die and you have an estate sale of my crap, you're gonna clean up. It's gonna be awesome. Just trust me. So that's what I tell my wife all the time. I'm like, it's like a savings bond. It's a store of value, right? So so she can have the kick-ass estate sale when I die.
Does she not ask you to go digital?
I see all the time that they sell those comic books for 25 cents. Or like,
I have to write notes on the back and be like, this is the first full appearance of Alpha Flight. This is the one that first Rocket Raccoon. Like, I got to put all that on there because she'll have no clue. She'll be like, it says 10 cents on the cover and it's old. Yeah, give me a quarter. All my EC stuff will just be out the door for like $1. Signed Jack Davis stuff out the door. Like, God, you're killing me. So
you know what's gonna
haunt her from
what's gonna happen to us, Joel, is like by the time we die, like it's just gonna be digital, and people are gonna be like, I don't want that on my shelf. Like,
it'd be like Fahrenheit 451. Someone just come and burn all that shit. It'd be like, you got printed literature in your house, burn. Yeah. That would be a good book to do as a comic too. It'd be Fahrenheit 451.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I'm a big Ray Bradbury fan too. So
I don't think I will ever go digital. I can't stand
I don't do it.
No, I don't. We'll always offer it. You have to offer it because people use it now. But I don't. Like, even reading Ewell, like there's just certain things like you need the pages side by side. Like they just look better together. When you're scrolling through, it's like I don't know, like, and then like we printed on like nice paper too. So like when we're holding the book in our hands, it's like I'm not gonna get this on my tablet. You know, I don't know.
The whole thing is an art experience. I got it right here, right? So the whole thing is part of the whole deal, right?
Yeah.
It's cool. You can't hold that. You can't do that digital, right? As much as you want to.
No, you can't.
There's a place for it, though. I mean, the price point's obviously lower, right? The profit margin's higher for independents, right? Because it's just a file. So there's some good areas there for thing. It's a win-win. You think of like subscription service, like Comixology, those type of thing. Like
Sure.
I can't buy everything. I'll go broke like everybody, right? So, and sometimes I just want to test out a book, and it may not be at my local shop, but I want to read it, right? And the shipping outweighs the book, and do I want to spend $15, $20 to get the thing to my door, and then I buy it and it sucks? It's like, I don't know. Right? So, will I take a $3, $5 shot on something digital? I might. Yeah, it's plausible, right? But at the end of the day, I like the book better, so it has a place. Yeah, it has a place.
It's a collector item. It looks nice in your hands. So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're my friends in the studio. I hang them on the wall, whatever, so they keep me company.
And I think deep down, like we still have a little bit of a bit of that collector in us, right? Like it's like it doesn't feel like you're collecting something if it's digital, but
No.
yeah. So
it's like having a file, in the cloud, like it's just there. People have to believe that you got them, but no.
Yeah.
I love my pile of comics up there.
Yeah.
There's a room full of them.
Look, I have a pile of comic books over here, and I have all these full of comic books, but I do like the convenience of having a digital book in your phone.
Yeah,
because,
well,
I sometimes travel and I'm reading my comic. I don't want my comic book to get.
You don't want to carry that stuff.
Yeah,
that's understandable. Very understandable.
So I do both. I go both ways, I guess.
Yeah. I guess that, I never thought of it like that. Like if I'm sitting at the car dealership waiting to get my oil changed or something, I could just scroll through my phone, But I wanted to say, so when I was in the comic shop the other day getting those books, and it's sad. They used to, the whole middle of the store used to be boxes and boxes of old comics you could just go through and just like look at old past issues of stuff, and it was all alphabetical, so they had everything. And like recently, like a couple months ago, I took my son there and he was looking through all the S's for Spider-Man, and I went in the other day and it was empty in the middle of the floor, just tables. And I was like, what happened? They're like, oh, we're doing away with all the old stuff, it's just going to be the new stuff, maybe one or two issues back on the shelves, and then like I think it's just tabletop gaming space for them. And I'm like,
oh, that true,
sucks. Yeah, well, they're huge at that comic shop specifically. They probably do more tabletop stuff than they do actual comics. But I just thought it was sad. I was like, oh man, well, I guess I got to go back to yard sales now for some old ones. But
the comic book shop that I have here is the only one in many miles. They did the same thing. Same thing.
Yeah,
it's more like
a
gaming place than anything.
Yeah. They're all different too, right? So some of them just do back issues. That's what gets people in the door, right? So that's a thing. And then some of them just have a little tiny wall of new issue, and then, like you said, mostly gaming and thing. And like our LCS that I go to is about an hour away, and I would say 2/3 of the store is Funko and gaming, and their back issues are like last month's issue or 2 months ago, like John was saying. So. I'm going in there. I'm like, hey man, you got any golden age horror or sci-fi? And he's like, no, if I get that stuff, it's gone. I was like, well, if you get that stuff, here's my number. You call me, and then it's gone. So that's how this is going to work going forward, right? So, right. So, but it doesn't come up very often. But
Ozzy, you said earlier that you've been doing this for at least 20 years, right? Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And like there was a time when you had to do some works on the side, just to keep going, just to keep your dream, alive. How was that? How did you make the transition?
Well, like I said, I was very lucky to always have jobs, like doing comic books. And I mostly, well, at the beginning, yes, I used to have another job, like I used to just work 8 hours and then come back and do another 8 hours on my comic books, hardly sleep. And but I was younger. I cannot do that anymore. But
Right.
when you're
None of us
young,
can.
you can do whatever. It's like you can just not sleep and not eat, whatever, and you're fine.
It's pretty much Joel and I right now. We do our day job, and then we're up to
At
1, 2
40
in the morning.
plus, so at 40 plus.
Yeah, yeah.
As soon as I started just getting consistent jobs, gigs, or commissions, I used to go to conventions and just make money there to just survive. I didn't have to do any jobs. But this life is so lonely that I used to get a job just to get that
Just got to see people.
talk,
Connection. Yeah.
connection with people.
Yeah.
Because and not only that, exercise. That's one of those things very important.
Yeah.
I used to get the hardest job like in a kitchen or in a restaurant. I well, actually never worked in a kitchen, but in a restaurant that I it's just to do like I used to carry stuff and just do this like all the time, and they used to pay me.
That was a gym.
Yeah, exactly. That was my gym.
Yeah.
I don't think your pencil. That's not going to do much, if you're sitting there drawing. So.
And I did that for a few years, and I keep doing it, and to the point that I became I started just practicing sushi, and now I am a sushi chef.
Oh wow, nice.
Wow.
And I don't practice much. I mean, right now I got a job right now that's like 10 hours a week, but just because of that, because a year ago I had COVID and I was so sick and my lungs were so destroyed, and so I couldn't do anything. I couldn't just do much work on like exercise. I can't do much. It's little by little recovering.
Yeah.
So now I just go to the restaurant and just do my job like 2-3 hours, and then come back to the house. And
Yeah, it's a good mix.
Do you bring food home?
It's good food too.
That's great. Like a guy, you got free food, all right? It seems like a great deal. You get free food, you do exercise, and then you come back to your perfect job.
Yeah,
this is a dream. Sounds like a dream to me.
Yeah, no, but most of my income comes from doing comic books.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Fantastic.
That's the dream right there.
So when you make that transition, what do you think a lot of times people make a mistake that like they want to do art full time, right? They're working a day job. What's a common mistake that you see maybe over the last 20 years that people do something incorrectly that they should do differently?
But they don't train themselves. They don't know what it is, and they just jump. They think they're gonna land soft, and it's not the case. What I did is that my mentor know what the industry is and what are you gonna get, what you're not gonna get. He really trained me how to be an artist. Like you gotta have this amount of money in your bank. You have to have this amount of because people don't pay you up front, especially in those times. That you need to finish a book and then just get the paycheck at the end. So what are you doing in this 30 days?
Yeah.
So that's where no one prepares. Obviously now everything changes because now there's PayPal. You can pay one page a day, but in those days you receive a check.
Yeah.
And so no one prepares for that thing. You need to have, like I said, I train myself to be fast. That's another thing. If you have a deadline, that's the best thing you can have. Be prepared for all that and for mistakes, because there's always people who, even when you think it's perfect, they're gonna say, well, no, I want this change.
You have to redraw a page, a panel.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was something I ran into in the fine art world too, is you could go, 6 months without selling a painting, 9 months without selling a painting, right? And if you're a full-time artist, you start to question your art and you want to compromise your art. You say,
Yeah.
Well, man, geez, cityscapes aren't selling, so maybe I should paint kittens because people love kittens, right? So you start changing your art. Or you have a relationship with a gallery, and the painting is supposed to sell through them, and you have the painting there for, say, $5,000, and someone comes to you on the side and says, hey, I'll give you $2,000 for that, and you haven't sold anything for 6 months. Man, you're like, oh shit, do I take that money? But you have that relationship with the gallery, so you would burn that bridge. So you have to say no. But meanwhile, you've sold zero in like 6 months. So yeah, and they say, like, in the fine art world, to your point, financially, you should have about 2 years of your salary in a bank, just because you're going to go through 6-9 months where you sell absolutely zero, right? So if you go into it with zero, you're not eating, man. And trust me, there's been nights, when I've been a young man doing other business endeavors and things, it was ramen noodles and water for 5 years. I kid you not. It was like, I got upset at my ex-wife because she bought a $5 smoothie one time. I'm like, we can't afford that. Like, you need to understand, like, that is real. If you're doing something, independent comics, painting, art, whatever, man, like, you have to sacrifice a lot of stuff. You can't go to the donut shop in the morning and get a coffee every day. You're not going to make it. It's got to go back in.
And that's another thing that what you just mentioned. I never lived the lavish life. I don't.
Yeah, right.
Just my luxury is maybe a beer or two. Like, it's not like I don't drink.
Though. Good beer though.
Cheers.
But all I'm saying is that I don't. I'm not like I don't have the biggest car. I don't have the salute. I don't have the luxuries because I don't care about it.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you care about that, you're not gonna make it in this industry.
But conversely, you might put that money into your art. You might buy better material, right? So better paper, Bristol, pens, whatever, right? So it's that kind of thing. Like, I had no problem dropping, $200 on a brush set, even though, like, okay, it's a brush, right? But there was something a little bit better about it, I will be honest.
Yeah.
But the money went back into the art. Yeah.
Well, we were talking last Wednesday to Rusty, and I asked what was his driving force, and he gives the best answer ever. He said, I want to entertain people. I want to make people laugh. I want to make people feel things. And I think we all here can relate to that. Because at the end of the day, like, what do you have? Like, if you can have a big bank account, the best looking car and house, but if you don't make anybody laugh, you don't make anybody better. Like, what are you doing? Just making money, living a selfish way of living. That's not worth it. And I used to say, like, I do what I love, and it's been only 9 years since I decided to do it. Now I'm kind of making a transition. This is why I always ask artists, what did you do that worked? And I'm trying to emulate everything that I learned from you guys. And then I feel just great because I do what I love during the day. And at night, when I do comics, I do something that I love and it's meaningful, like it brings value to people. Like my kid loves it. My daughter, she's a great fan. And this is a lot better than my illustration job that I have.
Yeah.
And, that's it. Like, the artist, being an artist is about making yourself happy, making other people being happy.
But most important, you gotta make yourself happy.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly
not
what
to
I
be
mean.
selfish or anything, but I mean, the things that I do in comic books, I do it for me, and I do it the way I want to do it. So if you happen to like it, it's fine. But if not, I really don't care.
Yeah, and
You're not going to stop, right?
Eventually,
you're stop.
When you do something, when you do something, it's good. It is good. It doesn't matter what people think.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, but what Joel, you need to be prepared. That's the main thing to be in this industry. I think I had a level. I can't say that I was good because I see my drawings from that time 20 years ago. I was really bad, but I was at a level that I was like hireable. Like people constantly hire me, like one after another. Or there was a point I had 2 graphic novels to finish in 6 months. So I wasn't sleeping. It was an at the end of those 6 months, I end up in the hospital, dehydrated, exhaustion. I was so bad. So I didn't
COVID and everything.
I don't think that's from overwork, but
No.
Yeah, it'll run you down. Like, I always say I only sleep like 5-6 hours a night tops, right? And everyone's like, "You need 8 hours." I'm like, my mind clicks on, and I just can't. So that's part of the problem. Is I go to bed at 2 and I'm up at 7, so I'm ready to go. So.
I was the one who said that to you, and look at me. Last night I slept only 4 hours.
I know you were texting late. You were like 3 a.m. in Brazil.
I fell asleep so early, and I see our little group chat, and I see like I woke up this morning to see like those two texting to like 2 a.m. and I'm like, what? Like I don't like. I know I do sometimes, but like
I'm a fraud. I'm a fraud.
Yeah, you were getting on Joel so hard about not sleeping,
and I don't.
I want to. I just can't. It's like I get too excited about what I'm going to create tomorrow. So right. So that's it. So.
Right.
I'll be right back really quick.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I said on a couple shows too. Like, I feel like people that don't have that creative part of the brain don't see that, right? They don't get why we can't go to sleep, and it's like we're just sitting there thinking of make believe when there's real life stuff to worry about, or like like when I've told people that I mean now honestly people take us serious now. They see all this stuff we're doing, they're like, wow, look at you guys, right? But like at the beginning they're like, you're doing comics, what? And I'm like, yeah, like who do you think's making the movie for you? Who do you think's making the books for you? Like it's people that have that drive to do this sort of thing, so
Yeah.
I think there's something cool though that comes late at night too, right? When you're half awake, half asleep, and you're trying to tap into that, right? It's kind of like you're entering that dream state a little bit. So like the art comes out different because you're like, I don't know if it's the fatigue that makes you not kind of care, I guess, for lack of a better word, but you're just like, whatever, dude, and you're just drawing a thing, and it comes out killer, right? It's like you're not overthinking it too much.
After midnight, like you turn the turbo mode on. That's it.
Yeah. Well, it's like bands, right? You never see a live band at 7 a.m. It's always at night, right? You never go see a play at 8 a.m. It's at night. The artists, we work at night. It's where our brain comes on and we do our thing. It's mostly at night. That's real, right?
Yeah, I go into a trance that I can draw for like 8 hours straight, and I don't.
Feels like 10 minutes. Yeah.
Huh?
That doesn't feel like 10 minutes. It goes fast. Like the time's just like.
It goes so fast.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then I said,
Rogeria's coloring something. What's he doing over there?
Are you coloring live, Rogerio, or is that just a video?
No, sorry guys, this is a video. I'm loving this phone thing here.
Apparently,
interactive background.
They're playing like Risk for computer or something. I don't know. It's like the armies are coming over the hill there. I don't know what you're doing.
Wait, you have Clip Studio. Time out. You have Clip Studio on your phone? Are you actually like?
No, that's I just.
That's just a video. Just a video. I got you. Okay.
Upload a video,
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love playing with this. I feel like Joe when he was using those bloated eyes.
Hey, the googly eyes. Ozzy's probably know what we're talking about. Yeah.
Just messing here with you guys. Yeah.
There you go. Well, it's working. We're simple.
I'm sorry for that. I'm a clown.
We're a simple creature, right? So
yeah.
When you were just talking about the in a trance thing at night, and like it just reminded me, like, because we have Felix Blackwell on next week. He's an author of this horror novel that I read, and Joel checking it out here. Like,
fuck, this is thick.
It's 320 pages. Not too bad.
They're 320.
Yeah, but it's freaking. Wow. It's a good creepy little story.
Talks about that state between being awake and asleep, right? That's mainly its theme.
Yeah.
That's alpha state.
Yeah. In the cover, I was texting Joel. I'm like, we should talk to him about who did the cover, and he's like, oh, it was so and so. I'm like, you already looked that up? But yeah, this cover is I love that cover, man. Like, and then the title is like written in the snow, and there's like spatter around it and stuff. It's really cool. So
That's
it is
basically my
beautiful.
house. That's like my house in New Hampshire. That's like where I live. That's what it looks like in the winter. So,
Scary.
there wasn't a
in the
possum
middle
out
of
there.
nowhere.
That was that weird
Yeah.
freaking
He'll be on the
Wendigo
show
looking thing.
soon, yeah?
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah.
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 See, Ozzy, so many nice people here. We are really honored to have you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
fantastic.
outside of comics, Ozzy, what's your jam? What do you like to do outside of when you're not drawing and doing books and stuff? What do you like to take part in?
A year ago, I moved to the mountains, so there's nothing here to do. Nothing.
Me too, man. I did that move. I'm with you.
I hate you.
what
I
do-
hate you both.
I go fishing.
Fishing,
nice.
yeah,
I pick
nice.
up
That's
fishing.
awesome.
It's been pretty good actually. I'm started a podcast too.
Oh, really? Nice.
Thank
YouTube
you. Thank you.
channel.
Yep. Do you
I'll
do?
send
Is it like fly fishing or off the shore? You get a boat and do all the whole thing?
No, it's a reel. It's a rod and reel. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, my kids want me to do that with them. We have a lake like 2 minutes down the road, and they're like, "Dad, take us fishing." So I got to get that whole gear and get that set up. So they're at that age, right? So
What are they-
I'll be
you get,
the
like,
I'll be the
rainbow
worm on the
trout
hook
in there?
guy, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to do my worm dad.
Brown,
Yeah.
Yeah,
all kinds of. all kinds of
Colorado's
trout.
beautiful, man. Colorado's a beautiful state.
I've
That's
never
awesome.
been. I want to go there so bad, but
Yeah. You're welcome over here. You can crash here.
There you go.
I got a wife and 2 kids. I didn't tell you that part, so.
Bring him. Bring him.
You say that now, Ozzy. You say that now.
I haven't spent the night with my son.
I'll send you outside and do some camping.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he would
there you
love
go.
that. My son, set a tent up outside. That's the only. We actually we might go camping next weekend.
It's not raining. It rains every day here. It's like Seattle lately.
So I told my wife I was going to mow the lawn today after work. I signed out of work at 4:30. I go upstairs and I hear thunder. I'm like, "Are you shitting me?" And I go and it's downpouring. I'm like every time I go to mow the lawn, it starts raining. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's raining here.
Yeah, it's
you
been
got that
crazy.
storm
It's
now.
been so cold and so rainy. Like I have a jacket back here just in case. Like, and it's July. I'm like, usually we're dying. We're like, look like we're in a sauna up here. It's like, yeah.
Well, it is hot, but it's raining. It's just crazy weather.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm saying
80s or
good segue on the weather. Rio said he liked your Mexican weather girl videos that you were doing. He had a good time with those.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No. Let me correct that. Guys,
He likes the Mexican girls. So what are you gonna do, right?
No, that's not it. That's not it. I am quite embarrassed to admit that. Let me tell you, I have to be honest. Like, I don't know every artist. And then when they said Ozzy and comics, I went on to find out who you were. And I said, okay, this is the guy. As a creator involved with comics. It was a completely different person. And when you check the video that I sent that to you, I sent to you, I said, yeah, he has 4 million people watching to his video every day. I said, fuck, we're gonna get someone really famous here. And then you didn't let me know that I was wrong. And I said, okay. When you first appeared here, I didn't have the time to improvise and say, fuck me. That's the wrong guy. Here I am again. I'm 50-year-old and I still behave the same way I used to when I was 12. That is terrible. But now the difference that I am a 50-year-old man with a mind of a 12-year-old who drinks beer. Imagine.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
No, nothing. Recite for tragedy.
Yeah.
I'm the
Yeah,
same
but-
way.
I'm sorry for that.
Ozzy, just tell him it was you, buddy. Just fix this whole thing. Be like, yeah, it was me. That's my side gig. Yeah.
No, it's a different Ozzy, but I'm glad to have met you tonight.
It was Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the Ozzy, I love Ozzy Osbourne. I knew that couldn't be him. So
Hey, you never know, man.
The loser Ozzy who has no followers.
he has nothing to tell us. Like I know everything about him already. Everything that is That is to know. And I'm a big fan also. Yeah, speaking of that, like here we have a former heavy metal band leader, Joel. I don't know if I'm butchering your name. And here,
I know what you're talking about.
You know. Yeah, that's it, man.
I was just a drummer, so I was out back, you know. Yeah. But the cool thing with being a drummer is, you know, the girls would always want to come and play your set because everybody can bang on a drum, right? So this is a good thing. This is a pro move, right? So guitar is hard, right? Or keyboard, you know, so not so. You know, keyboard's okay, but the drummer, they say, "Can I come play your drum?" Like, yes, you can come play my drum. So it's a good move right there. So I should have played that up more in hindsight. I should have worked with that a little bit. So it could have been something. Yeah.
You don't look like a drummer. You look like a guitar player or something.
No, dude, I'm a gorilla. I'm 6'3", 240. So I'm a beast. You know, I'm back there like, you know, animal. So they don't want me up front. I'm too gangly. You know, I'm too like like Hulk at the front of the stage. It's just not going to work. You know, it's just can't see the rest of the band. They're like, get over here, push it out.
I tried to teach myself guitar. I don't understand how people can do what they do on that thing.
Stop right there. Like, how can you teach you something that you don't know?
Right. Hey, I could play a couple like when I'm doing 1 chord at a time songs. I can't strum, like my hands don't work that way. I don't get how they do that. It makes no sense to me. But
well, it's years of anything, right? It's like years of art, years of music, right? It's just practice, right?
I know some guitar players though, and I'm like, how do you know how to play guitar? Like you're an idiot. I'll tell them to their face.
I can learn guitar or I can learn any other instrument because I'm an artist and it's in my head.
Yep.
What are guitar people?
But I don't have the time. I just don't.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
There's plenty of things. Yeah, to your point, like I'd love to do all kinds of different things, but it's time, man. This is time. That's it. Like we were talking today, John's like, we should get a 3D printer. I'm like, that's all you. Like, I'm not going to have time for that. Like, have at it, buddy. You know, get after that. So
I think you read that text wrong. I was trying to say we should talk to 3D printing companies.
Oh, good. Yeah, because I'm not doing it.
Well, no. And when you said like that's all you, and I'm like, wait, like me get a 3D printer, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with that. But
that might be kind of our angle. That could be fun. We'll have like a distorted, messed up figure. That could be like you know, zombie Yule figures or something. Right?
Luke has one, right? Didn't he do his figures?
Oh God, he's a magician. That guy's a wizard. You know, he's like a warlock. I don't know what he's doing. So Ozzy, take us through. Get back on, get a little track here. Reeling it back in. Take us a little bit. That's what we do, Ozzy. Take us a little bit through your creative process. You know, are you working like fully analog? Is it digital analog? Talk to us. Let's geek out on some art stuff for a little bit and talk us through that.
You have some originals there?
Sorry?
Do you have some originals to show us?
Oh yeah, sure. I can.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Let's see what we have here. Well, I need to look for them, but
that's okay.
So basically, I started with for this book actually because I knew I was gonna sell the originals, so I started doing in pencils, all the in 11x17 Strathmore. So I do pencils and then I scan it and then I start doing the ink on digital. My wife gave me a digital tablet 2 years ago, and I think it's pretty good stuff because it helps me to be faster.
Yeah. It does, yeah, it certainly does.
I don't like the idea of not having the originals because I can sell them.
Right.
But it's fine. It compensates.
You do the inks manually?
No. Before the tablet, yes, I used to do it with ink.
Okay, yeah, all right.
With quill pen and brushes and stuff like that, but not anymore. Since I'm doing it on a tablet, it's faster. I do it
cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't accidentally knock over your bottle of ink and the whole page is wiped out. You know, your kid comes in and bumps the table and
that happens to me.
Here's a drum. This is a Godzilla.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
This is killer.
This is actually for one of the backers. This is that one actual commission.
Okay.
Have they
And
seen that yet? Do they know? Do they know they're getting that, or is this a premiere for them? It's like a surprise, right? So they're
it's
watching.
not gonna be a surprise anymore, but
Yeah.
they haven't seen it. No, he just told me like do a Godzilla and he paid for a small one, but I like to give him a little more always. This is a 11 by
Yeah.
7.
That's
11 by
cool.
Yeah,
7.
that's awesome.
Artwork. Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah, we're doing something similar. I'll just fill in the airtime here. We're doing something similar like that with our collector's edition, where we're doing 5 of our backer boards have custom art on there
Yeah.
too that I'm giving away just randomly. I call it the golden ticket, right? So I don't know
Right.
who's going to get that, but it'd be kind of fun to see who gets it. They put it online or whatever, and maybe some year everyone will get together and they'll do the whole set of 5 of them. It'd be kind of cool to see too. Right? So, yeah. It'd be
I
kind
know.
of fun.
I had people like when we posted that a couple months ago. I had people saying, "I want make sure I get one of those." I'm like, "If we're doing random, I'm not playing that game."
We have no idea. Everyone's like, I want issue number. I want 1 of 100, dude. And I'm like, man, I don't know if you have a 1% chance of getting it. Like, you know?
We're gonna be sitting there on an assembly line, like boom, 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 boom. Like, we're not gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that was number 1." Like, you know, like it's
No, I'm going to shuffle them. I'm going to number them and then shuffle them in
Yeah,
and just be
that's
like,
the-
boom, just send them out.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Wow, that looks good.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Wow.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
awesome. I love rain.
Yay.
Inks with
Yeah.
white out ink.
Yeah, nice.
That is super cool.
Yeah, I love like weather effects and
Yeah.
rain and all that stuff is super cool. Are you doing any of like the old school techniques where they take like the razor blade and they scratch the ink off, they drag across it? Like, you doing that kind of stuff too?
Yeah, toothbrush.
Toothbrush, of
Nice.
course.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
There's so many techniques and different kinds of paint too.
I think that one's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, these
like you
books that
said,
have already
Joel,
been published, or this is upcoming?
Yeah, this has been published actually. This is from my
Okay.
last. I did an anthology called Monsters and Gods.
Yep, I remember that. Okay, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, and I give away a few pages, original pages too.
that's cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
I love that stuff. Love the contrast, man. I'm a big black and white guy, as you can tell. Obviously, like the shirt, right? And you see it, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah, I just love it. Like the stuff like Rios is doing too. Like I was gonna color that, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I don't know if I should color it because it's so cool, black and white.
Yeah.
We're thinking about doing a variant on that, just to offer both.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
look at
I love the rain.
Wow.
Man. I love the weather. That
Yeah.
looks so cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
nice effect.
Super
Yeah.
good balance in that piece. So awesome. The black and the white, so good.
I'm actually contemplating and doing a black and white version of the book that I'm doing for the Sword and the Sorcerer.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, do it. I'll get it. Yeah, do it.
On black and white.
Yeah.
This is another with pencils too,
Yeah.
shadows and pencils.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. So this now you've changed from this, right? So now you're just doing the pencil, then doing the ink digital, right? So this.
That's correct. yes.
Yeah. Would you go back and do something with ink analog like that again, or is that kind of concluded for you now? Or
It depends on the time frame.
Yeah.
Or if
Sure.
I have to deliver fast, obviously I can't do it like because it takes a little longer.
Yeah, it
Let's say-
does.
say if I finish a comic book a month, in a month, just like any professional. But if I do it in digital, I finish it like in 20 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Sorry, Joe. Can you put it on the full screen so we can see it better?
Yeah. Let me try. Bear with me. I think it's going to show me. Let's see. It shows me. Yeah, for some reason I'm like the main guy. There's your campaign. I don't know why it does that. I don't think I can. Yeah, let me try here.
I think there's
Yeah,
is me
there's got to
fumbling.
be a way. I've seen people do it on other shows we were on, but
This is me fumbling with. Oh, here, solo layout. Let's try that. There we go.
Hey,
Hey, we learned something. This is a new feature, episode 5, guys. Right here.
Oh,
oh, that's
Much
cool.
better.
I like that
much
shot with the
better.
glasses.
The
great.
details on this is really good.
Yeah, I like
I mean,
that.
Yeah,
Very
I can
nice.
say,
that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this something you wrote too, Ozzy, or is it a script that was given to you?
For this one, this specific one, it's someone else's story. But the other one that I showed you first, it was my own story.
Now, when they
Ozzy-
present you the script, did they say glasses in the foreground, looking through,
No,
or
no,
is that all? Okay,
No,
yeah.
all
Some
the
people
detail-
get.
I like to add background stories, or foreground stories too. For example, there's a similar shot on this one. This is a different short story, and I basically have the same thing here. The glasses.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah. I love the like the foreground, midground, background formula for stuff too.
Yeah. Sometimes I add stuff to the background just to give him character.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to ask you guys, like all three of you, since I'm the only like specific, like all I do is write in this scenario, right? But like you guys all do the panels. Like, how do you come up with the idea for the panel layouts? Like the, having one overlap the other, or just like I don't know, the angles of them.
Oh, look at that.
I started with I do thumbnails on the script. Right on top of the page, I print the pages, and I just start doing thumbnails, like really tiny, just to know how many panels I'm gonna have, and distribution, and all of the characters, the space for the dialogue, all that. That's how I do it, and then I go for something. I do the layout very loosely on one page.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
But so like if you like for example, like if like when I love that Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my favorite, and the Scarecrow's pretty badass.
Is that ink wash, Ozzy? Is that ink wash doing the Scarecrow? How you got the gradation?
On this one, no, they're both pencils, grease pencil.
Okay. Wow, it almost looks
awesome.
like ink. That's cool. Almost looks like a washed ink.
It's kind of very, very dark pencil.
Yeah. That's why the grease pen is so.
Yeah,
I don't even want
nice.
to get it out there because it will smudge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't take it out. Leave it in there. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'd say
Pinups I've done.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow, that's very good. Yeah.
Sometimes, John, talking about panel layout, sometimes it's just, look at that. So much work. Look at that. Yeah, the armor, dude, that must have taken you forever. Like just do all that perfect spacing.
Look at the detail.
Oh,
right.
I can't even imagine. Like, I drew the Night King once for a commission, from Game of Thrones, and he has armor like that, but I only did from the chest up, and like those squares, I'm like, this is the most tedious thing I've ever done. I can't imagine like doing the whole suit. That's wild.
Going back though on your panel question, sometimes it'll just speak to me as I'm doing it, right? It'll say, okay, this is cool, or like, if there's an action sequence, we got to kind of shift the panel a little bit, like we did in Yule, where it's all orderly, beginning of the book, and then when he enters the realm, it gets all crazy. So that's part of it too.
Oh, that's in color. That's awesome.
Wow. That's
there you go.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Very, very good. I love it.
Right?
Can you still purchase this? I kind of.
Yeah.
That looks pretty badass.
Love it. Yeah. Look at the logo.
And I did a drawing for
Nice.
every single comic.
Wow, that's work.
That's something that people would love to have.
Wait, so if we order this, if we go through you directly, like, are you the one that ships these out?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because I recently did it was Indiegogo, I think.
Yeah.
For this. So yeah, it's still Yeah, I think you can buy it through them too. I don't.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
because
and
you
it's
can
a
do the on-demand thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's a flip book too, right?
flipbook. Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I love flip books.
Double addiction. Yeah. Great.
So
Yeah,
half of the book is backwards, like it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, I'm like, I want that. Like, I'm gonna buy that.
I'll send you one.
We should call this show "We Spend John's Money." That's what we should call this show.
Yeah.
I'm like, my stack is just growing. Like this got me back into comics doing this thing, and now I'm like, oh.
Replying to John question, like I will show him a few images when, of course, when this topic becomes irrelevant. I will do that.
Nice, Ghost Rider. Yeah, that's awesome.
This is some of the perks that I've been sending, like just posters and
That's
stuff
cool.
like that.
That's so cool, man. People love that stuff. Like, I started doing something with kids too, where I'm sending them some things like that. Just a fan, like they don't buy anything from us. I just said, hey, if you got young kids that want something, I'll just send it to them in the mail. It's really cool.
How do you, like? I'm just curious on one like this. Like, are you just using like a white pen on black paper, or is that actual like ink?
Black paper on white out. Oh, this is the original page too. This is I'm gonna send this to one of my backers.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's at the $100 level. You're getting that?
Yes, I think it was even like 60 or 70.
Oh my
bucks.
god!
Wow,
Oh my
no.
god!
That's what I'm
No,
saying. Like
really.
when I was going through, clicking through there, I'm like, ah, this is wild.
It is going for free.
Pretty much.
Pay
That's what it
shipping.
seems
You
like.
got to pay shipping. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we might have to have some up at our con coming up in September. We're at Granite Con up here in Manchester on September 18th. So I think we're going to have some Ozzy on our table for sure, man.
Also,
That's
let me tell you, your perks just make us feel very embarrassed about our campaign. Very embarrassed. Yeah. No.
Well, that's a good segue. That's a good segue, though, Rios. We could talk about that. Like, what's some of the things, like, you've done a couple campaigns now. What's some of the mistakes that you've made and some of the things that you found have worked really well? If you want to talk to that, because a lot of people watching the show are backer, or people that are doing their own campain.
Yeah, that's a nice question.
The biggest mistake I made is that I never collected all these fans, all these emails for when, because I used to go to all the conventions, and my friends is like, oh, let's get this a letter, a newsletter. You can put your emails, and I was so arrogant, it's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be famous.
I don't think that works. It goes to the spam mail anyway.
No, man. Like, listen, like Joel and I talked about this. Joel had a good idea with that. He, like at our con, we'll have a gift basket that people have to sign up for, and they have to put their email in. And it's like, at the end of the day, end of the weekend, we could have a couple hundred emails that, hey, that's a mailing list. Even if we get 15, 20 people out of them, it's like, we'll take it. But
it's customers.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to cut you off. It just reminded me of what Joel and I were talking about. But
I know, and so that's my biggest regret, that I wasn't thinking in the future. But now I'm starting to get that back. Like I'm selling a little more. And I'm gonna go back to conventions because I stopped going for 2 years, even before the pandemic.
Yeah, we all have.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna start going and just trying to be more thinking on that getting a little more fans, because I do have them. They do follow me.
I bet.
Absolutely. I mean, you should, man. Your work's
How could
awesome.
you not?
Like, yeah.
I could see why you got work.
Yeah.
So, right. Yeah.
We'll see. It's in the future.
It's all about exposure. Like you have to show your face. People like to put a face to the artists. Like I've been told many times to do it. I'm doing this now with the Livid guys because I feel comfortable doing it. But then But
Rios, we're going to have you on a TV at the con live stream. It's just going to be your head, like Max Headroom style, like from the 80s. Remember that show? Like, like it's going to be a 3D render. We're going to get your CGI guys on right, that to do the comic. They're going to make a head of you, and you're going to talk to people.
Yeah, tablet in your face. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So be prepared, buddy. That's already in the works. So.
Man, with our technology issues, it's going to be more or less, we're going to be texting Ruggiero saying, hey, we need you to film like 20 reactions, and we're just going to have them playing in the background. Like,
no, I'm going to have like a paper mache Rios puppet, and I'm going to be working the jaw, and you're going to do the voice. That's what we're going to do.
That's more likely. That's actually probably the most accurate.
That's the tech. That's how tech we get.
Guys, look at the crappy thumbnail I'll do for a page. All right, this actually
there we
is
go.
something that I did for Heel Turn.
Yeah, Heel Turn. I recognize that shot.
That's it. Like, doesn't go better than that.
That's the same process that I use. It's just
like it's a big pen, very cheap, not as cheap as the art. It's like this.
That's what you got to do.
See, I do that, and then I get carried away, and next thing I know, it's a done page. So I'm like, shit.
You know what? I meant to say that to you recently when you were texting, because the first half of Yule 2, Joel's like, I'm just going to sketch it all out first, the whole book, and then like as he progressed through the book, like page like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, it's like, those look like they're fully penciled, man. Like those look like you're just ready to.
I'm embarrassed to show you that. But
no, that's what you got to.
That's the process.
No, that's cool, because people don't realize what goes in behind the art, right? So it's kind of a cool thing. They just, a lot of people that don't make books, they just read them. They don't understand all the steps behind that panel. And Ozzy, you probably think about this too. Is like, man, you spend like 2 hours on this one panel of a page, and people look at it for 5 seconds, right? And they're on to the next page, right? Yeah. It's like, kind of like, okay, you know how much time I have in that one panel, like, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. So aside, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say to Ruggiero. So like, people pay for this stuff, man. Like Joel and I both have the collector's or the director's cut of the Ninja Turtles that Kevin Eastman signed, and it's half the book is stuff like that. Like, and it's just super cool to look at, like to see in the whole concept of it all.
Yeah, when we get as big as them, maybe we can sell it. But sure. For now, this is going to the trash can.
Yeah,
don't throw that away.
No, save all that stuff.
You better not. It's good.
You never know.
You never know.
But that's exactly how I do. How I started. It's like rough, very rough, and then just polishing it little by little, layer by layer, I guess.
Yeah. Like I don't do that on the paper. Like I did when I refine, I don't refine on the paper. The paper is just to give me the idea. I don't even scan it. I just look at it and say, all right, that's the way it goes. Right. Just to get things like you want to know the camera view of things. Like when we do comics, I think we are thinking about a film mostly, how that can be portrayed in the best way. And sometimes it changes when you do the actual art.
Yeah. Well, this is like the compliment Rios block here, but to tell you, like, so obviously we shared those first few pages of Deadball, and like, there's a lot of people that want a black and white edition, man, and that's just your work. Like, so I wouldn't be embarrassed to share this stuff, right? Like, Joel and I were saying it has like that noir look to it, right? Like it feels like it almost should be black and white, but so. We talked when we were talking about the script about potentially doing the book in black and white initially, but I don't know. Like, I think having both available is going to be awesome because it just looks really unique in black and white. So,
yeah. But guys, that's a question that I want to ask all of you because you are all artists. But at which point you think that the actual, I wouldn't say self-esteem, but self-confidence is paramount for what you do? What is the importance to do it?
It's very important having an ego to do whatever you're doing. But obviously you don't need to let him let it grow so much. It's when you think you can do better, like you can do, and you're cocky, that helps you a lot. Because that at one point I was very egocentric, and that helped me a lot. It pushes me to go a lot to a places where I will never be as an artist. But then you also, it hurts you too, because it's ego. It's you're saying, oh, you're so good, that is just you believe it, and sometimes you're not, because there's it's also many other people in front of you in the higher level.
Yeah.
So I think that helps a lot. And I guess that's what I think.
Yeah, I'll go with a little bit of that too, and sometimes it's apathy can be a good thing too, right? You're just like, okay, and I like Todd McFarlane one time said, he goes, if you can get the art in the ballpark, so it looks like what you're trying to convey, people will go along for that ride. And sometimes that's it. It's like, is this the best hand that I could ever draw? No, it's not, but it looks like a hand. It looks like it's holding this thing, right? Could I do a better hand? Sure, I could, but I'm going to move on, right? I could spend a whole night figuring out every little knuckle and joint on this hand, but like we said before, people are going to spend 5 seconds on that panel and they're gone. Like, only like total hardcore geek artists would get into all the nuances and say, oh, the secondary knuckle is too long, like nobody cares, right? So a little bit of apathy too along with that. It's having the confidence to do that, and then you also get to the point where you're like, oh damn it, I'm noodling with this page. I'm taking too long on this panel. Like, who gives a shit? Move on to the next. So it's a little bit of that, and just okay, go to the next one. And then sometimes you do go back and nerf it, but mostly it's just on to the next. Just go, right. That's it. Hit it. I guess it's like being a performer too, a little bit on stage. Like, you've played that song 100 times. It's almost muscle memory too. It's like, okay, I know this mistake. I've been here before. I understand that the eyes turn down on the head. They're not straight across. Like, you know all those things because you've worked through those problems before and you've been there to find that solution. So that plays a role in it too, as that experience comes into it also.
Yeah, I think, I mean, having the confidence is so key. Like Ozzy was saying though, like with an example with Ewell, right, is I mentioned to you early on, the lack of dialogue in some of the pages was concerning to me, and I feel like I should have some narration boxes, and you were just like, no man, the art's going to tell the story. And the feedback we've gotten from the book is amazing, as far as like the chase scene, right? Like, there's not much dialogue in for like, I don't know, 6-7 pages. It's a kid running from freaking creatures. Like, he can't talk. So
you're not like, hey, I'm over here.
Just, like,
I'm gonna hide over here.
in the art was key. So that's awesome. Obviously.
Yeah. Did we lose you?
Going.
Yeah.
That's a weird break, John.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and like, because to keep in mind too, in my defense, right, like, I was going to write it as a novel at first, so the narration part of it is in my head, picturing like writing it like a novel, right? So like when he's running through the woods, like going down over this cliff, like writing it out, I realize now, obviously that was the right choice, but yeah, it's that confidence is key. And I mean, for me, like, I when it comes to comics, I don't do the sequential stuff, so I can't really talk to what you guys feel on that aspect of it. But like, when I do like commission drawings for people, we've talked about this on another show, where it's like, if people wanted a photograph, they'd buy a photograph. Like, just, it doesn't have to be exact. Like, it just gotta, get it. They want to see your style, so I don't know, but what is that behind you, Roger? Is that yours?
Is that a Conan, or what is it?
Yeah. This is something I'm gonna show you. Look at the date at the corner. That's my.
I'll put you up on full. Now that I know how, here we go solo. Here we go.
Yeah. All right.
1990.
1990.
Is that 90? No kidding.
I was 19 years old. All right.
That was like 3 years ago.
That was my level then. All right.
That's still pretty good. It's not.
Yeah, like, I'm a huge Conan fan, and I like inks. This is real inks, and I could do things like that. But the thing is, like, I lacked confidence confidence so much that I stopped drawing for 20 years. 20 years, I just, I can't make it. I couldn't make a living in Brazil doing that kind of stuff, right? And I didn't know it was possible. I didn't. And at the same time, there were people such as Mike Deodato and John Bennett, and so many others. They gave themselves a chance because they had the I don't know if it's the ego or the self-confidence, and they improved. But at that time, we were pretty much on the same level, But I didn't believe in myself. And then I stopped drawing for 20,
That's too bad, man.
14 years. And
I had 10 years. I had 10 years in between. Wow. So,
20
same
years.
deal.
This is why I always ask people, all the artists, like, okay, how do you feel about your work? Because I always think that I'm crap. I don't like. I finish a panel and I think, no, that's not good. That's not too good. And then say, fuck that. I am just having the wrong approach to the way I've been doing things, And I started talking to other artists in 2012. And then I decided, something, fuck that. I'm going to draw for a living no matter what. Even if I have to starve, I would do it because I was very unhappy with my work. And then since then, things are looking up. And I don't know how to balance the self-confidence with the lack of self-esteem. It's really hard to balance because it's a personal thing,
That's another thing that I was taught, that you have to be confident on yourself. Like you gotta know how good you are. That's because sometimes you lose opportunities by not speaking up or by not going to this place or by not.
Yeah.
You lose so many chances by not doing it. So you have to train yourself to basically sell yourself. You go in and because I used to hate to talk about me, and I used to be like very shy, and I lost so many opportunities. And then at one point I said, well, enough is enough. If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it right. So I used to go to these portfolio reviews or people critiquing my art and just to learn, or when there was a chance to meet people to get a job, just go and try to be the businessman that I'm not. So you have to be what you're not at one point. And I had to train myself. Now I can, because I've been doing it for so long.
Playing a role.
Yeah, it's learning, basically learning. And then, like I said, you really have to create your ego, that thinking that you're good all the time, but you have to control it too. Don't let it explode. Don't let it go to your head.
I don't have that problem.
Yeah, you're too hard on yourself, man. That's awesome. So
no, it's a son of a bitch, right? It's all the artists have that. Like, it's like, and then you're really fighting yourself at the end of the day. It's all it is, right? It's really just because there's always going to be someone that thinks you're fucking terrible and that you're lousy and all that stuff, right? And there's just assholes out there. That's real, right? But if God, if I make a few people happy, they like my stuff, that's cool. Like, I'm into it, like, and I do it for myself. Like we talked about in other shows, like I have to do something creative every day, no matter what, right? It could be even how I make breakfast in the morning and plate the damn thing, right? So it could be something as simple as that, but I have to do something creative, right? Or else I just go insane. It's like people that go to the gym every day. So make myself happy, say, okay, it's good, right? And then there is that stupid demon, that voice that comes in your head and goes, you're terrible, you're lousy, like, get that thing the fuck out of here. Like, you gotta knock that thing out, right? It comes to every single artist. Not one artist in the world that I've ever talked to that says, I love absolutely everything that I do, right?
Yeah.
This helps you a lot, but you have to be controlling a lot. Honestly,
well, that's Brian's the cigar, so I do the cigar thing. That's fine. Yeah.
He has to do like me. I got this 2-liter here, so it's
Oh,
all
look
right.
at that.
And I have a cooler. I have a cooler here, so it's all right.
Oh no, where does he go? Oh wait,
Yeah,
Joel's the
yeah.
one that's gone. Joel's gone. Ozzy moved to his spot. It confused me.
Yeah, he has a crappy connection,
Well, he uses his iPad out on his porch, so he like can't keep it. Oh, never mind. Stop talking about him.
Every time we hit this mark, the StreamYard drops out.
Oh yeah, the 2-hour mark. You drop off every time.
Yeah, I don't know why that. Maybe they're like probably got to pay him more money or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we're still live, aren't we?
Let me put another quarter in. Hold on. There we go.
All right. Okay. No,
Yeah.
Okay. Go for another 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know. Like, Ozzy, have you? So, like, your stuff's really good, obviously. Like, and you do it quick work. Like, have you ever tried to work for the big two, or is that just like not what you even want? Like,
I tried 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And obviously, I wasn't in that level. I knew I wasn't gonna get it. And actually, they told me like, well, I can't remember which editor. Well, I can't remember. I talked to many, but they told me the same. Like, this is an industry like any other. I cannot give you a job because you have no other job experience.
Yeah, I hate that. That's freaking terrible.
It's better than saying that I called you. Don't call me.
Yeah, well, they did tell me that. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I just feel like they're looking for two things, right? Is the talent and the time. Like, if you can crank it out, right?
And yeah, but also, I mean, there's many things they're looking for. They're looking for a style, depending on the book. They're looking for, I don't know. But the thing is that I haven't tried since then because I've been prolific for 20 years.
Well, that's the thing, I guess, right? That's why I was asking if it was a comfort thing, right? Because like you're doing what you're doing and you're comfortable and you don't have to worry about, obviously those two companies are going to have a lot of checks and balances that you got to worry about, and like so.
Yeah, but lately I've been having that like thorn in my head. It's like, should I just apply? Should I because I already know a lot of editors. Like I talk to them. I never bother them like, oh, get me a job, or like, no. But I've been thinking, it's like, well, wait, should I just do it for a year, maybe 2, and then
some extra books?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a question that I might answer soon. Who knows?
The door's open, right? There's a chance, right?
Actually, I wouldn't mind doing it. It's a big boost on your career.
Like you said, even if it's a year or 2, like you can then say, hey, like in your resume, I worked for Marvel or DC. Like when we were on that podcast with Peter, was it Peter, Joel?
Yeah.
Yeah. He used to work for both of them, right? For short periods, but he worked on Aquaman for DC, and like now he does his own thing. But just to say that you did that, like he worked on a run of Aquaman. So
here's the biggest thing is that I don't like. They're gonna start me low in a character that I don't like.
Yeah,
for
sure,
100% sure. Because I like all the big ones.
Right.
Actually, no. If I can do a Ghost Rider, Punisher, or those characters are not that big anymore. I mean, in comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think people are looking for the new stories, right? Like look at Moon Knight, like that. People like myself, I was like, I was interested because I hadn't seen it done 1,000 times. So like, I don't know. I almost feel like those obscure characters are like now, like especially with the movie stuff, right? It's like they killed off all these characters. They got to introduce these new superheroes. So like Moon Knight's obviously got his own thing coming out, and I'm sure he'll be part of the universe at some point. And I don't know. Like I think these side characters could be almost more interesting at this point, but.
Oh, maybe I'll send in my book to and they put me on Conan.
That'd be cool.
There you go. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, hey, that's
Aim
my
big.
guy.
Aim big.
Yeah.
I love the character.
That's the one Marvel character I would love to do, because I grew up like just reading, Conan. Like, fuck, that was great. I knew, like, even the final artists, the inkers.
Yeah.
I knew by the way they would do a stroke, you know what I mean? Because you get so familiar with Conan style. And that was fantastic. Barry Windsor-Smith was another one.
My favorite is Ernie Chan.
Ernie Chan.
Buscema too.
I think Ernie Chan is Colombian.
No, he's from the Philippines.
From the Philippines. Fuck, he was good. Alfredo Cala. I think yeah, was Colombian. I don't know. But like I could just strip away one from the other. It was just fantastic. And we were all reading Conan here in Brazil. It was unbelievably popular. Every kid every kid had to have one. Even if you don't read it, like, you have to have one.
Because that's the cool kids had Conan.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was very popular in Mexico too. Very popular.
When I applied to go to college, one of the things they had was like an admission day, and we had to ink a Conan page, and then they would critique your inks. That was kind of interesting. So even then, we were doing that too, which was pretty cool. And I was, 18, 19 at the time, and terrible. So, right? So like most 18, 19-year-olds, right? So, yeah. But it was cool because you got to work on it's kind of just neat because they sent you like the real bristle board, and this is right from the studio, and here you go, and give it a whirl, and very cool. Cool
guys,
process.
And those covers, Noram was the guy for the Conan covers. I was just blown away by the covers. When I saw Conan history, I was, fuck, how is this even possible for someone to do? I couldn't just imagine how can someone draw or paint in that kind of style. And I was just, fuck, this is brilliant. You would just hold those issues so dearly. That was great times. Like, I don't think I will ever get that kind of feeling again. That's something that it's not easy.
I cannot say the new comics are bad. They have really good stuff too, and the stories too. Because there's Kurt Busiek. No, who's the writer? It's a good writer anyway. So that's I like the new ones too, but they do lack of that detail. Of the detail that the other artists they have on the old Conan.
The colors have improved. No doubt about it, because there's technology, there's Photoshop. You can do so much. When you draw, when you paint lights and some nuances and shades, we couldn't do that in the past. Now we can see it, and there are some great colorists. But
the colors were flat back then.
Art-wise, that didn't evolve that much.
No.
Even though there are really great artists out there, and I appreciate all of them. And the bar is really high. I disagree with something that you said at the beginning, that the art is not the same. It's not the same. I agree with that. But I think that the quality of the artists went really a kind of a pitch up, because they are more, they drank from the same source. The way was already paved, so people just have to walk on was already, been done. So we can all improve on what is already made, and some people have. Some others, I don't even, give two fucks about buying their comics. I don't really give two fucks about the story. I love good stories, but if you see a good drawing, I'll buy the comics, no matter what.
I'm the same. I buy comics because of the artist. Every time I see a Deodato, Mike Deodato's comic book, I have to buy it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm getting that way. I mean, beforehand, like I wouldn't have thought like that, but now it's like for sure. Same with the writer side of things too. Like, there's certain writers that like you see their name on the cover and it's like, man, that's gonna be a cool story, and you just want to pick it up.
Which writers do you like?
Well, I mentioned, Joe Hill, which is kind of a cop out because he does novels too, but like all his horror comics are so like just unique and good. But the guy that does Something's Killing the Children, like he's like the hot name right now too. I don't want to butcher his name. I don't even know how he pronounces it. Tinian? I don't even.
James Tinian.
So like Joel turned me on to this series, the Nice House on the Lake. It's through DC Black Label, and it's just dude, the cover is so cool.
Open up, show some panels. Let me put you on the big screen here. That
that's
I know
book
how
2
to.
though.
Yeah. Put it on big screen. Yeah.
There
I
we
want to
go.
grab book 1 though, because I don't want to give.
Now, Joel. Now.
Whoa, hello. Book 1. You can't see it with the
Oh, you got that cover. Yeah, I got a different cover
that's
too.
the original, man. It was the first print too. I was pumped. So
I like that it's pre-worn too, because my kids make my other books look like that just from being in the house.
So like this guy's like the style of the book, Joel. I didn't even notice too. Like, is the artist the same as Something's Killing the Children?
It is not, but it almost emulates that.
Yeah, like I noticed like the glasses reflecting and all that.
Yes, exactly.
And then the panel layout, like the panels are the same.
Love that panel,
they go
dude.
across.
The panel on your left hand there, that one by your fingers.
This one?
No, the other hand. I don't know.
That's the one you sent me. Yeah,
that is. So they're talking about the story. The main character, she meets this guy in the bar, and he goes, "How do you think the world's going to end?" And she's talking about it in this panel. So you have like the post-apocalyptic world, to the screen right there, and then you got them sitting in the bar on the screen left. So it's her basically explaining her vision of the world ending in that one panel. Like brilliant. Like that is such awesome narration.
I gotta have it.
We'll send you one. We'll get you one. We'll send it down to you. Yeah, we'll send you down one.
So, but the whole story too is just so unique because there's like pages in here where it's like a whole. It's like a splash page, but it's a freaking like email. And
I'm
it's
gonna pull that back up because that is cool. I liked how they did that too.
Yeah, like
neat concept.
And there's a bunch of pages like that where it's like an email or a letter or something. Like it's just like almost like. I don't know. It's just a really unique like concept, but his books, like he did Something's Killing the Children, he did this, and I'm trying to think of. He has like 2 other titles that are huge too. Right now, he's like the writer right now that you want to like. You see his name and you're like, that's gonna be cool.
Upcoming star. Yeah.
Again, no superhero, right? We beat this drum on every show, but no superhero in there. It's a human interest story, right? And I always say, that I feel that those stories are popular because we all got thrusted into a human interest story over the past year and a half, right? Where we were put into a situation that we didn't want to deal with, but we had to deal with it, right? So all these characters in that book are kind of in a similar situation where they're not really superheroes, but there's something that happens worldly that they have to then deal with and overcome. So I think that can relate more than, okay, here's another Superman, punch him up. I think people can really get their teeth into that type of story right now.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
The superhero era is about to go. Something better is coming because we already have
indie comics, man. Indie comics.
Indie
comics are blowing up.
Yeah,
and like that's the thing. Like I'm not against superhero comics. If I came up with a cool idea, I'd love to do one, but I don't want to just be doing. It's so
hard. It's been like everything man has been done, right? Rutabaga Man. Avocado Man, it's all been done, right? So, yeah.
The other writer that like I haven't shown this one to you guys yet, but the other writer that I'm like really into right now, you can see
this
his name.
guy.
Wow, yeah.
Let me go full screen on this one. Let me see.
His name's right there. It's
he's
John
an up and coming wrider. He's up and coming.
Is it Dungeon?
Yeah. How do you say that? Dunnigan? John Dunnigan?
Dunnigan. Yeah.
You can see it.
He's Irish.
It is. It came from Durkin.
John Donegal.
No. Oh man, sorry, I had to throw that plug in. No, but
We don't advertise enough on this show at all.
Yeah,
So
we should. Yeah, we should.
got my living drink right here.
For those who are watching us now, this is Livid Comics.
yeah. Yeah.
Livid Comics. All right. It's not live. It's not life. It's not.
You know what it really is we're buying all this merch because we're releasing the book and we got the con coming up, so we're like, let's just go with it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, right.
Ozzy, I didn't spend a penny on this. This is my TV. You know, like I rather just spend my money on booze.
No, so earlier today, like, so I got this last week because before it was a cement wall behind me. It looked like I was in like a bunker.
That's
And, so I'm
right.
like, screw this. Like, we got like some mainstream names coming on. Like, I need to ramp this up a
professional.
bit. Yeah, and Joel got that for the con. And so like Rogerio today's like, hey, do you guys have the logo? So I made a joke like, are you gonna print it off on a piece of paper and hold it behind your head? Like, but I didn't expect this. This is.
I thought it was green screen. I thought he had green screen.
I don't think you can do this. Can you do this? No, you
Let me
can't.
shake the iPad here. Here we go.
All right. Look at that.
Yes,
I can make it smaller. I can make it bigger. Oh, fuck. I'm
You're going to be our weatherman, Rios, now. That's going to be the thing. Here's
Wow.
Rios with the weather. We got storms coming in over here.
Are you going to be willing to pull this TV out here every single week? Every episode?
Yeah, I don't mind. It's working so far.
We're going to have to send him a TV now, John, too. Christ. It's not going to end.
You know, like I knew I had a reason to buy a 55 plus inches TV.
Yeah.
You told the wife, you're like, yeah, I need this TV for the show.
Yeah,
hon. Trust me, it's for the show. Yeah.
Professional reasons.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, so you mentioned, Ozzy, collecting email addresses. Was there anything else, like, early in your career that you wish you had done differently like that, or? Put you on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the one thing. That's definitely
the main thing.
Let's
Getting that
flip-
name list.
Yeah, let's flip it then. What do you feel that you did right out of the jump? Like, there's something that I nailed that I really felt good with and that was successful, like right out the jump.
I guess being fast, delivering always on time. That's one of those things that people appreciate, and they go back with you because of that thing. Because you're reliable. So
what are some of the tricks that you use to be fast, other than you mentioned the digital inking? Was there something with your technique or your vision or your layout or your process?
There's many ways actually. There's obviously I've seen a lot of artists, they want to finish panel per panel, which is the wrong approach. Because let's say if you do a great panel and then the time is running out and you don't finish the other, you're going to have a page with one really nice panel and the other ones are fast. So you got to finish the whole page gradually, like like from one side
like
Dude,
one piece.
So many similarities in painting that way too. We talk about that. If you paint from one corner of the canvas to the other, by the time you get down here, they don't connect. You have to work the whole thing. Yeah, exactly.
And then your time is used correctly when you do everything at once. Let's say jump from one panel to another, and adding more and more stuff, more. Then you can add more detail. And my approach to a page is by time. I have a clock that says, well, you can only work on the page for 10 hours. That's it. No more than that, because then you're gonna steal the time from the next page.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to go through the whole page at all times. Let's say you're inking, you gotta ink. You don't ink just one nice panel. Just add details to all of the panels. So when the time is running out, you have a page that is balanced and it's fast. That's also too. Like, I mean, I other techniques can be people forget that this is a muscle, so you have to really warm up and then stretch at the end too. That's why you get a lot of artists with tendonitis. I had tendonitis actually.
Yeah, I've had the tennis elbow, like it locks up and stuff and all that.
Ugh.
Yeah,
This one from here, it hurts a lot, but not anymore because
yeah.
now.
Or in the palm, you get the one in the palm, right? Yeah,
Oh yeah, that one hurts a lot.
yeah,
But it's also, you have to use the right equipment to avoid all that. Use a nice chair. Buy the most expensive chair with a support, so you have to. You don't have the problems that a lot of people have: back pain, hand pain, your eyeglasses too, because you're sitting in front of the computer, blue light. And
yeah,
all
exactly.
that. Yeah, so it's what else? To be fast, you can practice. It's simple. You just, whatever you do, just try to do faster, and challenge yourself over and over. It's like any other profession. Whatever you're doing, just try to do faster, and you get used to. You get used to do fast.
You have to do the work. You have to put in the reps.
It is not like any other profession. Look, picture this.
Similar.
You meet a girl. She asks, "What do you do for a living?" And then you say, "I do comics." And then say, "All right, what do you do for a living?"
Yeah.
Oh god.
Well, to your point, Ozzy, too, like in painting too, there's studio layout. Like, how do you lay your paint out? How do you lay your brush out? That makes it faster, because if I'm working here and I got to look over here, all these times I'm going like this time, right? And you do that 1,000, 10,000 times on a piece. I don't have to do that because I put the work here, I put the subject here. I only have to look this far, right? So that's a big thing too.
You got to know where exactly are your tools.
Exactly.
Without looking.
Right. Yeah. I'm like that in the house too. It drives my wife crazy. I'm like, the ketchup has to go in the drawer. Like, it has to go right here. Label out. I'm not going to grab the spicy ketchup. I want the regular. It's got to go in the same spot. It's the same thing. Drives her crazy, but it's that artist thing for real. Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, but you can definitely tell people that draw every day, that, like you were saying, repetition, working it. You can tell people they don't draw every day. You can see the quality in the art, right? You can tell if they don't do that regularly. You have to, it's like working out. It's like going to the gym. It really is.
Exactly.
It really is. Yeah, you have to do it every day. Like, at least half hour, do something just to get it out of you, and you can stay sharp.
And one important thing is to rest too. To rest. There's take breaks sometimes. It's muscle. You get tired.
What does your day look like? Like, do you work at night, morning? What does an average day for you look like time wise?
I used to work at night, like most artists. Just go through the morning. I used to sleep. I never seen the for years. I never saw the light of the sun. Never. Like, I used to just sleep through the day. And but nowadays, I'm married now, and I basically wake up, start working, basically around from 7 through 9, like around that time I wake up. I never put an alarm. I just let myself sleep as much as I can, and then I wake up. I start working. I have breakfast. Start working again. Until I get hungry again.
Yeah, right.
And basically, I stop around 7. My wife stops working at around 7 too, and then we spend time together.
Do you do weekends too, or you do that thing like Monday through Friday? I'm taking the weekend off, or does it go right through the weekend? Or
I try, depending on what we have planned, because nowadays it's more important my family than my comics. So I try to spend more time with them. Yeah. If we have a party or we go out or we have a date or I take the day off. But I compensate by waking up a little early and work a few hours. I pretty much work every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing comes easy.
No,
You
no.
have to buy your free time, yeah?
There's a lot of sacrifices if you want to be a professional. A
Oh,
lot of
fuck.
That's
You
it.
gotta be. We talk about being passionate about it, right? It's like some people, on the indie scene, it's a hobby to them, and it's
Yeah.
like, sure, cool, we put a book out, but like Joel and I like drink this, like like we're texting until 2 a.m. and obviously Rogerio too. Like obviously we didn't work with him on Yule, but it's the same thing. Like we're always talking like throughout the day, even during our day jobs. It's like we're texting each other, and we're talking about the book and like the podcast now, like just stuff like that. It's like
Yeah.
I don't view it as work. I don't care that I go to bed at freaking 2 a.m. half the time. Like I don't. It doesn't. Like my wife's like, you're gonna kill yourself. You keep coming to bed so late. I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't view it like I'm like. If I was doing my day job till 2 a.m., I'd freaking want to
Yeah.
bash my head off a wall. But I don't know. It's just
Well,
Oh,
a few
guys,
years
this is fun. This is fun. Like every panel, every meeting we have here, like it's just fuck. This is not a work. This is not a job. This is fun.
Like four buddies at the bar. This is our Friday night. We can't go to the bar, so this is what we do.
Meeting,
and my drinking intake's gone up a bit on these podcasts. But, yeah,
That's good.
Yeah.
Meeting interesting people such as Ozzy and Rusty and so many others that are coming. This is fucking. It's a party.
yeah.
Yeah, a few years ago, before I met my wife, I used to just work at all times, and just it was good because I didn't have anyone to share with, like a wife, or I used to just stop just to hang out with my friends, but you sacrifice a lot. Like my friends, they used to go camping, and I used to stay here and just work. But nowadays I put more into my family and friends. It's because it's very important. You have to know the balance of things. I mean, I was young and stupid. Now I'm learning life.
Older and wiser.
Every warrior becomes a wise man eventually. That's a good line, right? So.
Well, and I'm sure it'll get to that point, right? It's like you've been doing this for so long, like for myself, and obviously this is just coming from the writing side, but this has been the dream my whole life, So the fact that I can do this while still having a consistent income on the side and not worrying about that and see where it takes off, it's just, it's, I don't know. I can't explain it. It's even during the day, that's all I think about, I'm thinking about the books and all that. And I'm sitting there like, I got to do my real job right now, but like I'm texting Joel about stuff. So yeah.
We get it done, though. If any of our bosses are listening, the jobs always get done.
For sure. Yeah.
I hope they're not there.
I do what I got to do. I got to get it done. But
actually, to be honest with you, it's my motivation is this in my day job. So I'm like, I want to get my day job done so I can go do this, right? So
yeah,
it is, right?
I wanted to point out, because it's behind Rogerio right now, that panel in freaking Deadball is...
I'm going to go full screen. We're doing it. We have the technology. Let's do it.
I know you got the light reflection on there, but this panel...
I'm taking that off.
Oh, there you go. Can you zoom that out, not in? Dude, man, I love this panel. So Ozzy doesn't know where this is from, but so it's the main character. He's hiding in the closet. It has the I don't know what you call it, the vents, the shutters or whatever.
Blinds.
So the blinds. Yeah. So he's like looking out. And I just, when Rogerio sent this, I'm like, oh, that's freaking awesome. I love that panel.
Pretty good.
Yeah. And it just plays so well, the black and white. It's
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's
I don't know.
another. That's a
Yeah.
good. The
It's almost got,
expression.
I say it's got like a Frank Miller feel to it. I love
It
that.
really does. It really does. And like the way I pictured the moonlight hitting, and like you nailed it, you know. So, yeah. So we definitely like wanted to start the book off like in the middle of this intense scene. So it's like the first 3 pages. It's like bam, you know.
That's
And
the best way to start.
yeah, yeah. Well, and it's the main character is a baseball player in the 1910s, so it's like we can't start the book off with him playing baseball. Like, sure, like Joel and I are baseball nerds, we would love that, but not everyone would. So that we gotta like ramp up the intensity from page
Yeah.
1. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited for the story, and we haven't shared anything for Yule 2 yet, but we've been pretty secretive about sharing stuff with Yule up front. I feel like
When
even
is
with
it
issue
coming
1.
out?
We're hoping
Joel's
for
on like page
September.
14. Aren't you on like page 14, 13?
Yeah, about halfway through 14. So yeah, it was just now we got to do the campaign. So John's going to come up tomorrow. We're going to ship orders tomorrow for the collector's edition, which we took in March. So I had people already emailing me like, "Man, when am I getting this thing?" So it's like, I'm sorry, it's taking a long time. You know, we
Yeah.
appreciate your patience. And so finally, but it's it was delays, right? Everything, the world was delayed. That's really what it was. So we had a target of May to get everything in, and then it was like the printer, who's normally 7 to 10 days, is now was like 4 to 5 weeks.
Months.
Right. So yeah, exactly. So and everything was like that. And some of the things, cost wise, we have to get overseas and ship in, and there's all that supply chain logistic issues. And,
Yeah.
then they got the ship wedged out there in the Suez Canal or whatever it was. Right. That was real stuff. I mean, that really affected things to some degree. It slowed down the world.
Yeah.
It really did. So it's not been without its challenges, and we definitely appreciate everyone's patience, obviously, and we want to get them their books as quickly as we can. I'm more excited to see their reaction and have them receive the book. I want to get it to you. So,
Yeah.
right, that's the fun part. Yeah.
We've got a couple reviews in from sites, and they've been positive, and it's time for these people that have ordered it 5 months ago to
Quick
see this
leak.
thing.
Yeah, go do that. We always, no worries. I got this. My superpower is my bladder, and John will contest to that. I can go 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, man. I got a bottle down here tonight. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm bladder man. That's my power. I was on tour with the band Ozzy, so we would drive 5, 6, 8 hours at a stretch without stopping, and it's just I don't know. I got it, man. So we usually end up on the show. We usually like bookend the show. We start with the beginning, doing the campaign. We do it at the end, just in case some people jump on at the end here. So we'll kind of rip through it again, and we'll kind of go over the campaign. It doesn't have to be as in detail, but whatever you want to share on this, we're getting towards the 3-hour mark. So whatever we kind of talk about this and make sure we get some people to back this in, because it looks killer. And I'm glad that we spent some time going through it. I did look at it, before the show, but now that we're spending some time with your narration on it, I think it adds that much more to it, and it makes it that much more cool. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Basically, this is the sequel of the first movie, because there's a sequel for that movie, but it's not. It was a really bad movie.
Well, I'm glad you made it better, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
This one, the story is really good.
Let me go full screen here too. There we go.
Yeah.
So what? Tell us about what inspired there to be this book and the sequel. Was that something that was somebody that was a fan of the film, or talk to us a little bit about that?
My friend who, if you scroll up, you can see his name, Jeremy. No, the other way.
Oh.
On the creator things.
Oh yeah, Jeremy right here, Fraser.
Jeremy Fraser.
He's the one who got the rights. He met with the creator, the director, Albert Puig. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but
yeah, I got you. I'm bad with names too, like I said.
So, yeah,
yeah.
So he came up with a story, and it's a really good story. I was very surprised when I read it. And we're trying to do probably a 6-issue miniseries, and this first book is the introduction, the prologue. So we think we have a really, really good product that everybody is gonna enjoy. We have excellent like T-shirts, perks. We have commissions, and the I think the best thing is the cover artist.
Yeah,
Is
that's
the
awesome.
guy who I always been like admire.
You have a video on there for him too, right? There's a little video there.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
play
let's
it.
play the video. Let's do that.
Let's
It
see
might
that.
not let me do full screen, but
That's okay. Yeah, let's take a
all
look. In case people aren't familiar with his work.
So yeah,
Wow.
this guy is an English guy. He's been doing covers for heavy metal, for
Yeah.
Very good.
Batman.
I think I have that one actually.
Yeah,
Yeah. I saw some of them before.
his stuff is amazing.
It's so iconic. It's like timeless, you know.
Yeah,
It could legit like be in a museum of fine art. Some of those covers and things are just fabulous.
yeah. We were trying to get another artist. I'm not gonna say whom, but we talked with him, and because we never thought that he was gonna agree, or that we had enough money to pay him, because his stuff is real good. But anyway, he was a fan of the movie, so that's the only reason why he accepted to do it.
How could you not be and do that genre, right? It's almost like hand in hand.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! I didn't know he did turtle stuff. That's cool.
Turtle.
How did you and Jeremy connect? Did he approach you? Were you guys friends outside the book? Or?
We've been friends for a while. I never met him, but we've been friends on Facebook for a while. I met him in a group, a comic book group, and then he asked me to do a cover for the Mean Guns, the anthology, and then later on he asked me to do the book that I rejected first. Like, no, I want to just edit the book.
Now, is this book something he's going to offer through your campaign too, or is that something that you guys could add on, maybe as a tier or something? Or?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh yeah, Joel, your headset's doing that static thing again.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just saying, is the book something that might be available in the campaign? The book that he's showing here.
Oh no, that one no.
Okay.
That's an old book actually.
Man, he's got quite the collection. It's wild.
Boom.
Oh, he's been doing that for 30 years.
Right.
And he's very prolific, very prolific.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And
that's
I put
great.
that so the people knows, the new people, the new comic book fans, if they don't know his art, that's why I put it there.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, it's a great idea. I like that. That's a positive thing on a campaign that a lot of people may not think to do too. That's a good takeaway.
Yeah, and this your face in the comic book is something that is not new, but is we try to make it affordable, so there is a lot of people, a lot of fans of this book, and it's something unique. You know, you can have your face in a comic book that you like
For $60.
for $60. Exactly, you get a copy.
Yeah.
I promise you right now, I'm doing that. Like,
The three of us should do that. We should all be in there. You could just put like, and make John sing like, "I'm so livid."
I don't know if I get my own dialogue, but if I'm getting killed,
Hey,
I don't.
It depends. If you are this guy, the guy in the picture, he's got dialogue.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be hilarious. Yeah. Might be part of our marketing campaign going forward. We'll have to start putting ourselves in books, John. That might be.
It'd be nice to see you stabbed.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, I can't usually afford the face in the book thing. Like this is I can't believe like this should be selling right out. Like this is wild.
It could be a cool Christmas present too. Put your son in there too, right? Hey, Will, check this out, right? Put you in the book.
Well,
Yeah,
we're following the Indiegogo kind of like the rules, where that it means that it's a soft start. We let like week or two, not doing anything, just your friends and stuff. And now we're gonna heavy promote it, and we're just gonna. It's just so that I don't know why they do that. It's just we're just following it.
Yeah.
It's called.
I didn't know they did that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
You gotta read they have a manual or something.
Huh.
So we're just following that. And 60, we have 60 or 70 people who signed for the newsletter, and they haven't picked anything. So I'm sure it will pick up.
Oh, there's no way this won't pick up. It's just everything about it's just so cool.
Yeah, you got great art, a nice story, and some history to back you.
Yeah. Thank you. And we're gonna start posting more stuff, more of the new pages, without posting the spoilers, obviously.
Right.
But yeah.
So I see. So March of 22 is the expected date. So
we're just putting that because just to give us I'm sure we're gonna finish it this year, and we're probably gonna start a new one this year too. But it's just sometimes you don't know what's gonna happen.
No, I think that's probably smart. I think most of them will put a date further out. You'd rather beat a date than be behind. So
we don't want to be behind. It's just that's the whole thing.
Yeah, you never know what the world's going to deal you nowadays too, right? Give it a week.
Right.
Exactly. And yeah, I'm probably gonna finish the book probably what days? Next month, and I can start the next one, and send the book. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna be coloring too, so that's gonna take me another month.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Yeah. But,
well, I don't know. I'm pretty confident in this one. So I think.
Yeah, the whole art is fantastic. You know, the coloring, the inks, everything's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. Put out a quality product, man, and people will come.
Yeah. We have a couple more videos to release too. So we have a pretty good marketing campaign, and we're gonna release a lot of images too.
Yeah.
A lot of the pages, a lot of the sketches, a lot of the process of how we do it, and even memes. We're gonna release some of that.
Yeah, those are always fun. People love that, so it does well, right?
Well, that's the thing I was saying too. Like, it's not very often that someone gets the rights to like a cult classic movie to like do a comic on. Like, so it's just that was one of the questions I was going to ask you, and then I read the campaign and it explained it that you guys got the rights. I was going to say, how are you guys getting away with doing this without having the rights? But you do.
Right.
So
we got it from the man, from the
man himself.
From the man himself, the director.
Yeah.
It's so cool to breathe life back into something, 40 years later too. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Right. I can see this crossing over well with like fans of Dungeons and Dragons too, right? So that's another.
Oh yeah, no, we where we're posting in groups, movie groups.
Yeah, definitely. That's the thing, man. People don't think outside the box a lot of time like that. It's like, what cross genre can you bring your campaign to? They're posting just in comic book groups, and that's great. But I mean, there's other things. If your book touches upon something that people else are passionate about, go there and let them know about it. That's a big, good takeaway.
Yeah. I think I was looking for like Christmas groups from when we were like promoting Yule, or even like horror novel groups. I'm like, it's not a novel, but this is a horror story. Like anywhere we could promote it, to get 1-2 sales. It doesn't matter, they all add up. So
got the zombie kid, that's cool, right? I like that.
Right.
Yeah. In the next video I explained, if you want to be like a zombie, you got to send me a picture, or if you want something like any character, I can draw it too, and with quality, not like those sketches, like fast sketches. It's just something that is gonna be nice, and you're gonna want to frame it.
Yeah.
Well, those are the best perks. Original penciled pages.
It's so cheap too, though. That's
awesome. These are just great.
I don't want any of those pages here in my house.
We're going to need a bigger studio, John, that we can put these things up on our wall. I'm running out of wall space, right?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna not be able to hang the banner up if I want to keep hanging stuff. So I got to take the map down.
Putting pages and comic book in your back.
Yeah.
Hang from the ceiling. That's pro move to put hooks in the ceiling and start hanging them from the ceiling. That's another move. Run out of wall space.
Oh man.
Yeah. So support this comic book. It's got a good art, good cover, good everything, and it's affordable.
Yeah, it is. I think you're the biggest value on Indiegogo right now that I've seen. So it'd be hard to beat. I'll put it at that. So
I'll say anyone that watches this that has their own project, I promise you, I can't back everybody. I will go broke, but I definitely there's no way I'm not backing this. So. So you're at least getting one backer out of this show. So
there you go. Make it worth your while. Yeah.
Oh, that's the thing. Like when we were doing podcasts promoting Yule, like if we got one or two backers out of a show, we were happy, because it wasn't just about backers; it was about the exposure. But so that's just the icing on the cake, getting a backer out of it. But this is super cool.
But we got 50 subscribers. Sometimes we get 7, 8, 10 people online. That means that we get 20% of the subscribers, online. This is fucking huge. If you consider the numbers.
Sure. But we have we look at it after the fact. Most people don't watch live, especially on a Friday night. We get 7 to 10 is a good live number, but after the fact, the last show we did with Rusty has a couple hundred views already, and that was on Wednesday. So that's and it's growing. Our subscribers, we were at 20 on Wednesday or 30. We're at 55 now. So
we don't have many, but they are hardcore fans.
I'm actually gonna post this interview in groups along with the links of my Kickstarter, so that is both. They see that and.
Yeah, that's awesome. Appreciate it. Yeah, we do the same too. We believe in who we bring on, right? So we'll do everything we can to help push your campaign too. So it's a big part of it too. Is
people that were on shows like 2 weeks ago, we're still pushing their stuff for them. We bring the people on that, and then when you hear their story, it's impossible not to want to back them in a lot of situations. So you want to push it. So
that's why I like these long format shows. Some people don't. I do because I really want to get to know the people that create these products. It's not just here's the product, buy. I like to have an informal conversation where we can dig a little bit, introspectively, personally tie in some things about, the art, the struggles. It's all things that indie creators go through, right? And these are the questions that I have, John has, Rios has, and I'm sure a lot of people watching have. Is, what pitfalls, perils, success have you found? And, like I said earlier, what do you like to do in your personal time? Well, you like to go fishing. That's cool. That adds a human element to it, right? You're not just a comic book guy. You're a husband, a guy that likes to go angling, and that's cool, man. People love that stuff. So
I mean, some of it's selfish too. Some of it's selfish on our end. We want to learn what works, but so do people. Now, on my personal Facebook, I went. My friends on Facebook tripled in the last 3 weeks, but it's mostly industry people, and if any of them watch, they want to know this stuff, So it's important to see what works, what doesn't, and then fans too, though, they want to see, the story behind the story. So I don't know. I think, like Joel said, the long format is. 3 hours is pretty long. we always have 2 hours in our head, but we almost always go 2.5 to 3 hours, it seems.
I throw these shows on though when I'm working, right? If I'm doing art, I just listen to something like this and then put it on the background. So that's
guys, I don't know. That must be a coincidence. But since I joined Livid Comics, I've been receiving loads of hookers requests.
Well, that comes with the territory. No, that's.
They love the accent, buddy. They love the accent. You should really drum that up. So that's.
Oh no!
It's a mystery. It's a mystery.
I can't afford to do it. Yeah.
you're edgy. You know, it's got an edge to it, right? It's a mystique, right? You get American girls; they love accent, but you should ramp that up. So.
You know what it is that they're trying to type in Vivid, which is like a porn company or something, and they accidentally type in Livid, and then they're like, "Oh, this guy, he must be involved."
He's got a seductive accent. We're gonna run with this. So.
Yeah, he must be a CEO of something somewhere. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Oh man!
Like now that I have a nice background here, like I feel like I am a CEO.
It's progress, not perfection, right? That's what we do each week, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Scroll up to the top there, John. We'll look at the final numbers here, and we'll wrap this thing up. So let's go up to the top of the campaign and see what we got left here for time.
Joe, there's something wrong with your connection.
I think it happens around this time every show. Like I think I don't know if it's the iPad dying or what, but but
it's hard to hear.
Yeah, that can be the platform trying to knock him out. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I can talk this, Joel. So because when you talk, it does go static. So there's 31 days left. We're at $289, so that's just shy of 20%. So plenty of time. But like Ozzy said, obviously the soft open thing can be part of that. But
someone just contributed to the book. Nice.
Just now?
Yeah, we went up. Yeah.
What was it? I guess I didn't even catch that. Wow, that's awesome.
Guys, what do you think? Like we hit the 3 hours live, and then we can continue offline.
Yeah.
Just not to overload the platform.
That's it.
Yeah.
So Ozzy will say like a final message to all. So
all right. Well,
we can finish
guys,
here.
Buy this book. We put a lot of effort in it, a lot of money too. So it's gonna be. This is not one of the campaigns that is gonna be unfulfilled. It's gonna be finished all the 7 books actually, and I'm gonna see them through. I'm gonna see they're finished all 7, and then we can release a graphic novel too. That'll be nice. Maybe another cover from maybe Alex Rose. Who knows?
Nice.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
Right.
So yeah, we'll see. But let's start with this one. Let's make it successful. And we have pretty cool stuff. So I think you'll be happy with the result.
I think that's good. I would say on top of that is that a lot of our followers are new to Kickstarter and Indiegogo, so they don't understand or grasp the deals. But we studied a lot of campaigns when we were putting our own together, and obviously we've been following it the last couple months. The tiers in this campaign are amazing. The value and the quality combination it's insane. So it's got to back it. I was, as I was scrolling through, I'm like, I'll back this one, and then I'm like, I get down to the bottom, I'm like, holy crap! No, I'm backing this one. It's So definitely back this. It looks awesome.
Yeah,
that's
Thank
it.
you.
Excellent. Well, thanks for coming. Yes. Thanks for coming out, Ozzy. We appreciate your time tonight too. It's been great.
Thank you for inviting me, and whenever you have a chance, invite me again.
Yeah, we'll have you on before it ends. I think that'd be a good idea. We can kind of see where it's at towards the end there too. So hit us up and we can fit you in.
I just want to thank Ozzy for coming up and being here with us tonight. It was a great pleasure to meet you, and I'm honored to being here. Talking to you about your projects, about your dreams, about your work. And I hope that you keep going strong. And I'll see you next time, my friend.
Obrigado.
All right, guys. Everyone have a good night. You stay livid, and we'll catch you on Wednesday when we bring in author Felix Blackwell talking about his book, Stolen Tongue, and others. So have a good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.